ages 4 through 13. Sign-up fees are $80 per child with family discounts. For more information, call 575-626-3399. The New Mexico Department of Agriculture says the Chile Labor Incentive Program has been extended to the end of January 2022 to cover the red chili pepper harvest. The deadline for applications and claims is February 28, 2022. To find your application, visit nmda.nmsu.edu.
If you have an item for Talktivities, email it to calendar@pvbcradio.com. That's calendar@pvbcradio.com.
At Exergen.com.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. With the latest government employment report due for release in a few days, there's speculation the White House may be trying to cushion the blow of some really bad job numbers. Biden Press Secretary Jen Psaki told the White House briefing that 9 million people called out sick, many because of Omicron, during the time the data was collected, suggesting that somehow they'd be counted among the unemployed even though they still have jobs. Standing up to his own party and for his principles, paying big dividends for Democrat Senator Joe Manchin.
Data from the Federal Election Commission show Manchin raised more than $4.8 million in 2021, his biggest ever haul for a non-election year. Support for Manchin grew in his home state as the centrist Democrat stood his ground against his party's Build Back Better bill with its enormous price tag and its attempt to end the Senate filibuster. Manchin may need all that money, though. His independent streak has not gone over well with fellow Democrats. There's already talk the party will primary Manchin when he's up for re-election in 2024. Bob Agnew reporting.
Huge fire at a fertilizer plant in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, still burning. There have been evacuations. At least one school is closed. The National Weather Service says there is another big winter storm brewing.
Some portions of the plains all the way northeastward into northern New England. And it'll span multiple days.
Meteorologist Marty Rouse says it will get going today, and by the time it's all over, there will be a lot of shoveling to be done.
Areas from the Central Plains, northeastward through parts of the Midwest, lower Great Lakes into northern New England, may see up to 6 to 18 inches or so of snow for the total event.
Tesla recalling almost 54,000 vehicles. Their full self-driving software can let them roll through stop signs without coming to a complete stop. On Wall Street, Dow futures up 26 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Tell me why Relief Factor is so successful in lowering or eliminating pain. I'm often asked that question. Pete and Seth Talbot, the father and son founders of Relief Factor, tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor selected the 4 best ingredients, 100% drug-free ingredients that each help your body deal with inflammation. Order the 3-week quick start now. Discount it to only $19.95 to see if it will work for you too. Call 800-500-8384. ReliefFactor.com.
Sugar addiction is real. It causes weight gain, bloating, cravings, poor sleep, and chronic inflammation. I'm Dr. Ashley Lucas with PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition. Sugar consumption in the U.S. has increased from 8 pounds per person per year to 180 pounds per person per year. It's too much and it's pushing us into poor health. Our program helps you beat your sugar addiction for good. We've helped thousands of people lose the weight and keep it off for good. Get started today by visiting myphdweightloss.com.
Denmark, one of the first European Union countries to scrap most pandemic restrictions.
The government no longer considers the COVID-19 outbreak what it calls a socially critical disease. The reason for this being, while the Omicron variant is surging in Denmark, it's not placing a heavy burden on the health system, and the country has a high vaccination rate. The wearing of face masks is no longer mandatory on public transport, in shops, and for standing clients in restaurant indoor areas. However, health authorities are urging Danes to get tested regularly to keep up what it calls epidemic surveillance, and if needed, react quickly if necessary. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
German beer sales dropped another 2.2% last year, with the coronavirus pandemic again weighing on brewers after sales tumbled 5.5% in 2020. News and analysis at townhall.com. Records of about 1 billion gun sales now in the hands of the Biden administration.
According to the Washington Free Beacon, the data is being collected by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, and that's causing concern among gun rights groups and Second Amendment supporters that the government is building a nationwide firearms database, a violation of federal statutes. The ATF says it's not using the records to track gun owners, but admits it does transfer hard copy information into a searchable database they say is used to track weapons connected to crimes. Ron DeRockstra reporting.
Russia says it isn't so. The Kremlin denies sending a response to a U.S. proposal aimed at diffusing the crisis over Ukraine. Russia accuses the West of inflaming tensions, even as Moscow bolsters its already massive show of military force on the border with Ukraine, more than 100,000 Russian troops stationed on Ukraine's doorstep. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The second day of the rest of your life.
It is. Tonight, Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Municipal Candidate Forum. Happening officially beginning at 6 p.m. at the Pueblo Auditorium there in the RESD admin building. Get there about 5:30. Candidates will be setting up tables. You can visit, talk to the candidates here and see any of their literature and what have you. And then, of course, sit down and enjoy the forum beginning at 6 p.m.
I like that. Get there 30 minutes early, ask all the questions you want to ask, and then just
we'll ask
get out of there.
Questions.
Just get out of there. You know?
No, hang around.
Get your candidate forum out of the way in the first 30 minutes. Then you can just go and enjoy your nice dinner.
Don't listen to him.
It's efficient.
Yeah, it is. However, if you are unable to make it tonight, we will be carrying it live here on the radio, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, beginning at 6 p.m. And then we'll also be carrying live streaming video and on-demand video after the event tonight at ksvptv.com. So get ready for some weather. I've done some research.
A little research, yeah.
Yeah, searched and researched, and I'm checking out. Now it looks like our concern evening will be Wednesday night into Thursday.
Yep.
I was looking at the AccuWeather app I have on my phone, and it looks like they're saying Wednesday night into Thursday we're going to get like 1.7 inches.
Wow.
And then
just overnight.
Overnight. And then Thursday day proper, another 0.8 of an inch.
So basically about 2 inches over the course of 24 hours.
Yeah, roughly. We may get a dusting or so tomorrow, late afternoon, but the real work's is going to be done tomorrow night.
Ladies, they're going to say it's 4 inches, but it's only going to be a total of 2.
1.7 is fine.
That's all you need.
But that's what they're saying. I'll do the weather here in just a bit, but that's kind of what we're looking at. So if we're going to have delays and what have you, look for Thursday to be that day.
Yeah.
So
plan accordingly. Chain up the tires.
Well,
break out your salters and scrapers.
There you go.
The handy stuff.
Mike,
get one of your handy, multi-tools out.
I'll get that little funnel slash scraper gadget handy, and
there you go.
get ready to roll. And my glove mitt scrapers and all the other things I've got. So yeah,
nice.
We'll be good to go. And maybe I could RoboCop it. Like I think I might have enough accoutrement to like double fist scrapers.
Oh, okay.
And then I could kind of get out there and yeah.
You scrape down your car that's in the garage.
No, it's just bare metal. Might need it for Thursday afternoon when I go home for the evening, because we're going to be getting snow during the day.
Yeah, and then you can pull a Terminator. You go out there and do all that in your boxers.
Yeah,
and then go back inside and you switch it to Terminator. You look at your wife and say, "My clothes, bring them to me."
do.
Knock on the door like that.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I found out that if you knock on a door in the Terminator, it's incredibly intimidating to those inside.
I would imagine.
I don't mean for it to be, but sounds a lot like if you're not like tuned into the Terminator. A lot like I'm RPD, apparently.
Is that the code?
Who knew? I mean, I found out.
Well, let's for folks, give it a try. Your friends and family,
sure.
See how it works out.
Knock it out. No, actually, I think that if you really want to, have a friendly knock, it's more shave and a haircut, 2 bits.
Yeah,
that's how you let them know.
Yeah. Yeah.
RPD, you really want to throw some people off? Start knocking shave and a haircut, 2 bits.
That'll really throw them off. I haven't done a lot of knocking on doors in recent.
It almost never comes up, right?
I know. I was thinking, when's the last time I actually knocked on a door? It's been a while.
Yeah. I have a couple of friends that don't have doorbells, so it's real.
Well, part of the problem may be I just don't visit people.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm not going anywhere to knock on someone to visit their place. That might be part of it, but that might be more.
Introversion, sure. Let's go with that.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. Here in the 7 o'clock hour, just a little bit, Robert Sherman with the Walker Aviation Museum will join us for his monthly visit, give us an update on what's happening out at the museum. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15 or so, Bob Power's going to drop by. He's got a great gospel show that's going to be happening at the Roswell Mall here on Saturday, February 5th. Beginning at 1 p.m., and he's going to tell us all the skinny about that and invite you to come down for an afternoon of great gospel music and entertainment. So that'll be in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Patrick Smith will be joining us, first wearing his Roswell Youth Soccer hat, talking about league signups and getting your children signed up for Roswell Youth Soccer. And then he'll put on his scouting hat and talk about what's happening in scouting right now. Give us an update there a little bit, too. So that's coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. Plus, we'll have all of your daily features that include the news of the local and national variety, along with your town hall business, your Roswell Livestock Report recap with Smiley Wooten. That's coming up here in just a few minutes as well, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that stuff, let's get the official weather from the meteorologist. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Colder temperatures and maybe even some snow on the way over the next few days. Today looks fair, though, going up to 60, breezy, and a mix of sunshine and clouds. Turning cloudy overnight, will drop to about 30, and then rain is likely off and on Wednesday with our high in the upper 40s. Getting cold on Wednesday night, snow and a low near 10. Snow showers Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 40 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 30%. Winds are variable at 3 miles per hour. Today, not too bad. Not as nice as yesterday, but still not too bad. Sunny, highs near 60 today with northeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 31. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then there's Wednesday and Thursday. Cooler temperatures, moisture moving through the area. You'll see some of it in the form of rain and then changing over to snow. But for Wednesday, we're looking at A slight chance of rain and snow showers before noon. Then it changing over to rain for the afternoon. Mostly cloudy. Highs near 41 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation during the day is 50%. If we see any snow during the day, it's going to be less than a half an inch. Wednesday night, we're looking at an 80% chance of snow. Overnight low of 16, north winds at around 15 miles per hour. As I mentioned, what I was seeing on the AccuWeather, looks like they're saying about 1.7 inches of snow for us overnight Wednesday night. And then Thursday, we're looking at a 40% chance of snow, mainly before noon, mostly cloudy. High of only 25 on Thursday with north winds at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. And like I'd mentioned earlier when I was looking on the AccuWeather, another 0.8 of an inch of rain or snow on Thursday. So looking at about 2 inches, maybe a scooch over 2 inches there for us total, if all goes according to what they say. Thursday night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 8. Yeah, going to be chilly. Turn on those faucets to the drips and make sure your pipes are insulated, and open up those cabinet doors that have plumbing underneath. Do all that stuff. That probably next couple nights here. Not so much tonight, but the couple nights after that, you're going to be wanting to do that stuff. Friday, sunny skies, hitting up to a balmy, freezing 32 degrees on Friday for a high, but it'll be sunny. So that'll help. Clear skies for Friday night with an overnight low of 8. Another freezing night once again. Saturday, sunny skies. Highs will reach 40. Saturday night, clear skies with an overnight low of 18, which I guess will feel balmy compared to 8 the night before. Sunday, sunny with a high of 47. And then Monday, when you head back to work and school, we'll be back up near 50 for a high under sunny skies. But enjoy your 60 today, because you won't see that for a while here. It's going to be a little colder after that. All right, 16 minutes after 7 o'clock, we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. Actually, we'll have your Roswell Livestock Report recap with Smiley Wooten, then we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,230 head of cattle sold on Monday on a higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold 3 to 5 higher, feeder cattle 2 to 4 higher, packer cows and bulls $5 to $7 higher, 3 to 400 pound steers $213, $230, 3 to 400 pound heifers $165, $176. 4 to 500 pound steers, $187, $213. 4 to 500 pound heifers, $159, $165. 5 to 600 pound steers, $164, $187. 5 to 600 pound heifers, $147, $159. 6 700 pound steers, $156, $50 to $164. 6 to 700 pound heifers, $134, $147. 7 to 800 pound steers, $136, $156, $50. 7 to 800 pound heifers, $120, $134. Packer cows 74 to 81 and a half. Canner and cutter cows 59 to 70. Packer bulls 90 to 102. Feeder bulls 65 to 75. Top half the cow-calf pairs $1,400 to $1,900 per pair. Top half the bred cows $1,200 to $1,800 per head. Now remember, this is the top of the market, and prices range down from this according to quantity, quality, condition, and feel. We do appreciate the business. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
If your car breaks down, no need to cry, because there's always a pal nearby at Big O. At Big O Tires. Locally owned will get you in gear. That's because you've known us for years at Big O. Big O Tires. Don't need to sweat any extra labor. You can always trust a good neighbor at Big O. At Big O Tires. The best service is part of our code. Need a cup of sugar? We're down the road at Big O. At Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and get a $70 reward card on select Michelin tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price, not to exceed $35 where permitted. Void where prohibited. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer. See store for details. Some stores in Missouri, Minnesota, and Kansas are company owned.
It's scary how often we hear those police sirens lately.
Oh, this is the new normal under Mayor Dennis Kintai.
I just don't feel safe these days around Roswell, and I'm worried about our kids.
I know. It's very concerning. Murders are up 140%, and robberies are up 142% in the last 4 years under Kintai.
What?
Yeah, and assaults are up 263%.
That's unbelievable. And I heard the other day that Roswell pays their officers a starting salary 10 grand less than Hobbs and Carlsbad. No wonder we're having trouble hiring.
We need to fire Mayor Kintai and elect Tim Jennings as mayor.
Yeah, Jennings has a plan to hire 10 more officers, and he'll make sure Roswell pays competitively to recruit and retain our police force.
I know Jennings is going to build a substation in the high crime area. That'll help.
Tim Jennings, he's got my vote.
Mine too, because I know he'll keep Roswell safe.
Paid for by Tim Jennings for
Roswell is our home. That's why we've all got to do our part to stop illegal dumping. Throwing your trash, clutter, or yard debris in the alleys, sidewalks, or streets is a crime, and it takes time and money to clean it up. Those caught dumping illegally can face fines of up to $500. You can help by taking your waste to the landfill once a month for free with a paid water bill. Call the City of Roswell Solid Waste Department for more information at 575-624-6746. Help keep Roswell clean. After all, do you want your kids to grow up in a dump?
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Morning, Robert.
Morning, Mike.
How you doing today?
I'm okay.
Good. May have some weather coming in, so, everyone hopefully prepares accordingly for that.
Right.
But, of course, for folks that aren't familiar, Walker Aviation Museum, which is located inside the air terminal, down at the base there, it is a museum that is devoted to, once was the Walker Air Force Base there, Roswell Army Airfield, and it's a museum dedicated to the history of that, as well as our Cold War era, and talking about our missile silos that called the Roswell area home for a few years there. And then as well as, their STEM mission, working, promoting STEM and getting youth interested in STEM-related careers and things like that. That's all part of the mission of the Walker Aviation Museum.
Right, absolutely.
So I guess big thing, your biggest need right now is people, isn't it?
Yeah, we're kind of struggling because of, we don't have very many people, and money issues and stuff like that. So what we're doing right now is either myself or Bob Donnell, and maybe in the future Katie Yates and stuff. But anyway, we'll go out for about 2.5 hours on Monday through Friday, and we get out there about 2.5 hours before the plane takes off, and we get anywhere from 7 to 12, 15 people coming in, just looking around.
Gotcha.
So we can continue to do that for now, but
you would like to expand those.
We got some other plans.
Services, yeah.
We decided not to do golf tournament this year because of lack of people. I mean, it's kind of hard to go out and try to get a golf tournament all organized when you only got 2 or 3 people.
Just don't have the manpower to
trying
do that.
to do that and set that up. Plus, that those same several people are trying to keep the museum open.
Gotcha.
So we just don't have the manpower. What we may try to do, we don't know exactly, but we may try next year, and maybe to team up with somebody, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, somebody else trying to get together. We could do as a team.
Gotcha.
And if we don't have enough people, but hopefully by then we'll have 4, 5, 6 more people where we can maybe get someone to volunteer to come out once a week and open it up for like 4 hours.
Okay.
But right now, having us to go out there 5 days a week and open it for 4 or 5 hours is
it's really hard.
It's kind of hard. Yeah.
So, but like you said, if there's people that are listening out there that would love to donate a few hours a week to serve at the museum, or
think about joining our board.
Yeah, serving on the board or being a part of it in a bigger way, please reach out. I think you're going to really have some fun because it's like when you volunteer, there's little perks too. I mean, you're doing a great thing in helping. Raise awareness and helping promoting the STEM and the various values of the museum. but you also get to kind of see things and get to peel into history and there's just cool things that happen from time to time. Like here's a gee whiz one. What was it, about 2 years ago? David Copperfield come rolling through looking for history on his father or something that spent some time here. There was
all the time you get people coming that their dad was this or that.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. Or you go through the collection that the museum has, and you get to see all these heirlooms and artifacts from the time at Walker Aviation Museum, and I don't know, I dig that kind of stuff, and I know there's a lot of people that love seeing and kind of getting first hands with that kind of stuff too. And working with the museum, you kind of get to do stuff like that. So if you kind of have an interest in that, reach out to the museum, and or if maybe you want to you have aspirations, a younger person that has aspirations of wanting to be a pilot or getting in a career field of aviation or something like that, or military. This is a great chance to maybe hang out with some people that chewed some of that dirt and learn a little bit about the history of what you're getting into here. So. Yeah,
we had a gentleman yesterday was there when we opened up, Brandon Smith, and he's a student out at Eastern to be an aircraft mechanic, and he also wants to be a pilot eventually. And he said he's here to help us maybe work with the kids, so he's going to maybe come out Friday, and we're going to get him on the flight simulators, get him up to speed, so that if we have a group coming out when he's available, not going to class, he said he'd be more than happy to come and help us out. So
very cool. That's
just kind of typical what we have, people, floating in and out that are here and wanting to help and stuff like that. So that's good.
Very
cool.
That's
a positive thing.
Absolutely.
Our current board members are myself and Katie Yates is our treasurer, Sandy Correa. She's going to kill me for mispronouncing her last name. Anyway, Bob Donnell, Juliana Halverson, Judy Armstrong, Jerry Cloffer, and Friar Yarek Norwaki.
Very cool.
So that's the big eight. But we need about 15 or 20 people on the board.
Gotcha. So if you want to serve in that capacity too, looking for individuals that would love to be a part of that too, and I'm guessing also now with the news of you just mentioning that the golf tournament in May is going to be canceled. That's a big fundraiser for the museum.
Yeah, right.
So I imagine funds are going to be needed as well here too.
As a matter of fact, our rent is very reasonable, by the way. Thank you to the
City of Roswell.
Yeah.
Hooked you up.
But it is doubling in the next few months.
Okay.
So, it's not significant like trying to be downtown on Main Street.
But it's an added expense.
Oh, yeah. So it's going to be in the 300, close to 400 range.
Okay.
About 350, whatever. But that's... we're going to be approaching probably various folks like we do in a golf tournament and just see if they can support us for a month.
Sure.
And get a nice big sign up, which will be visible to everybody, even when the big screen 16-foot door is down. We'll see, they have a light going so they can see who's supporting the museum this month. And then another little sign next to it showing the people that have supported in the past months. So they can continue to get some marketing from that point of view there and would really help us out. So we'll probably be approaching that task here pretty quick.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to help out, reach out, and
we'll be contacting some people in person and kind of showing them what we're doing. And a lot of people are interested in the fact that, number one, we do provide the history.
Mm-hmm.
Even when the kids come out, they get a shot of we have two touchscreen computers in our screens in our museum,
mm-hmm.
and it gives you 2-minute history of the Walker Air Force Base,
mm-hmm.
and then a 2-minute history of the Atlas F missile.
Gotcha.
So then we also give them some other history and stuff real quick, and then we proceed into getting them oriented toward these flight simulators, and then we break them up into 2 groups, and we try to get 8 to 12 is kind of the number we're looking at.
Okay.
Because if you get more than that, we can't. When we break them up, they can't function on the flight simulator.
Gotcha. Anything bigger, that's the sweet spot for...
8 is about ideal because then you get 2 on each simulator.
8 is enough?
Huh?
Sorry, I was doing an old TV show reference. Is 8 enough?
8 enough? No. Hopefully we get like 2 groups of 8 coming in. But anyway, they come in for a couple hours and we break them up. And so that for about an hour or a little less, the 4 of them get to fly on 2 simulators and take turns and doing 2 or 3 different scenarios on this flight simulator, while the other 4 get their shot of 11 videos from YouTube on all the way from how to determine what you may want to do for a living for the rest of your life, a Venn diagram. This guy's really good. It's got pretty good ratings from the kids. And then we show them 10 STEM videos of various careers.
Gotcha.
You know, a day in the life of a wind turbine technician or engineer, you know, being an registered nurse, being a physician assistant. And then you have things on oil fields, energy. And then we have a couple of videos, one from Crumlin Auto that ties in with Eastern New Mexico University on the automobile mechanic.
Gotcha.
And then we have one from Eastern on the aircraft maintenance program.
Very good. So for folks on those, and then and then like you said, the oil field, like they got don't they? And then one of them like a roughneck video of showing
That's kind of entertaining anyone that say, okay, you think your job's tough? Look at this. These guys are throwing these chains around these pipes, and they're doing all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty cool for the opportunity. And then of course, adults, you know, whole family's going to get a kick out of the, you know, just seeing some.
And we put the kids to work. We have up to 6 clipboards if we had 12 show up, and when they're seeing these videos, they rate it 1 through 5. You know, 1 being that was totally useless.
Gotcha.
You know? So. But at the same time, on the page, they mark their male or female and their age. So we when I get through with this, we look at it and say, okay, guys, you know, if we wanted to change and maybe modify it in the future, if we're having a group coming in of a certain age or sex, guys or girls or whatever, we can say, let's take this and move this over and we'll put this video in instead.
Sure.
So they're getting the best. So they kind of get a chance to rate it. And then also rate the flight simulator experience.
Absolutely. And then obviously it gives a clear indicator for you guys on what, you know, what videos. So if there's certain videos that just across the board aren't registering with the group, then you can say, well, maybe we can pull that from the file and look for something to fill its place that would be more appropriate.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a great opportunity for them. But really, this is something, and these are strides that you guys have made in the last year here. I know in the last couple of years, the museum has taken a turn to really support the STEM related and the education side of things. So that's really been the mantle that you guys have been carrying for the last couple of years here. So really the stuff we're talking about, these screens, these programs, this is all new stuff within the last year and a half.
Yeah, we just got a computer and a big kind of a curved screen, and kids sit down, they have chairs, and that's what some of the people, when we're open during the day, we're running videos from YouTube. Like there's close to an hour video on the B-36, history of the B-36, history of B-29, and a bunch of other pretty cool aircraft and historical type things. And they come in and look around, and they end up sitting in the chair watching some of this rather than sitting outside in the terminal. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think for folks that are just military buffs or love history and you're coming through, and then you really get to see the role that this community served during World War II and the Cold War era, and it's pretty impressive. It's just, you know, for folks that don't know, odds are pretty good that if you were in a bomber crew during World War II, you probably spent some time in Roswell, New Mexico as part of your training.
Right.
And, that's just
pilots that already got their pilot training, but they came here to get multi-engine training and then bombardier training.
Yeah,
so it's around 17,000 trained here.
Yeah, it's pretty. It was a very important role that this community served during the war, and that's pretty cool history as part of this, and so you get to exposed to that, and then of course because we live in the desert, it was ripe area to put some Atlas missiles too when the time came, and so we, you know, during that Cold War era up until they started upgrading and putting bigger munitions, and then at some point scaling back the number of nukes that we were carrying.
Right.
There was a period there where we were glowworms. We had
they had 12 silos and they were scattered around. A lot of people didn't realize that. Is that just around the base? No, it was around Roswell, in like 12, maybe 14 miles in all directions, north, east, west, south. You know.
Yeah.
So, and these Atlas F missiles. Like they were saying, that the weapon on top of the missile, the warhead, was about 100 times, 150 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb.
Wow.
So it's kind of scary. I think that's when my dad built the bomb shelter in our garage up on West 8th Street.
Well, and that's...
No, it's just kind of a case like you got the base as a target. Now you got all these missiles around Roswell.
Sure.
Who's in the middle? Roswell.
Yeah, you're like, man, what's at home? No.
Yeah.
But, you mentioned that stat there about the warhead, and I hope it gets people thinking. When we talk about when we bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that was the infancy of the atoms, the nuclear age here, and that's in that span of time. When we bombed the end the war, the Pacific theater of World War II. From that time, we dropped those bombs, like you said, that took out a city with one of those bombs, and that was, I think, we basically had those were the two bombs we had. We may have had one other, but that was it. To just 10, 15 years later, now looking at one of those warheads could, in essence, wipe out an entire country, and it's basically, you know what I mean? Just the power. And in the same size and the technology going from the understanding how nuclear energy and how the atom bomb worked to looking at these intercontinental ballistic missiles in that really 10, 15 years time. That's quite a bit of advancement there in that bit of time frame there. And even during that age, when they go from the Atlas to Minuteman to the various missile designs, there's huge engineering and STEM differences in the technologies there.
And they were kind of struggling when they were building this because they were using the Atlas and as a liquid fuel. And while they were here, started building them in '61 was the same year I graduated high school, so it shows my age here in Roswell. But they were up and running during the Cuban Missile Crisis in '62 October, and then they were dismantled and. Basically, they went. Our government went to the Minuteman missile and solid fuel, some Titan missiles, but they were shut down in 1965. So they started building them in '61 and shut down in '65. But so there's still those silos scattered around Roswell. I think one of them they're using as a. You can spend the night there.
Yeah, like a B&B
I saw that in the
something,
paper. Yeah. But then there's some other ones like north of town that I was in. The astronomy club, they go out there and use all that flat concrete on the silo doors and stuff where they set up their telescopes and stuff. But you're pretty far away from Roswell and you don't pick up city lights or anything.
Yeah, you get nice and dark out there.
So it's like 13, 12 miles out, and then you drive off the road for about another mile or two and get to the silo.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to give you a quick backup on this, what we've done so far with the kids, in the past, we've recently had 12 students from Berendel Middle School, and we've had 24 students in two groups of 12 from Sierra Middle School. We've had a home group of 12 homeschoolers and then a bunch of other folks. So we've had about 58 youth and maybe 15 adults out there so far.
Okay.
Just, working with the simulator, but that's way below the number we want. And
sure.
It's just, everybody's kind of tied up with this COVID thing.
You'd love to have a group coming through every day through there.
Well, that's the other problem. And we like that, but
you got to have the people to accommodate that. Yeah,
accommodate that. But
in a perfect world, you'd love to have all of that. That's what you'd love to have.
But we'd love to have at least a group coming out once a week.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're just still there, and we'll be there, and we're not going away. And we're looking forward to we're already coordinating with New Mexico Youth Challenge when they get out there.
Okay.
Trying to get maybe 3 or 4 of their instructors to come out, and we'll put them through what we're going to put the kids through. And then when the next class gets here, we can maybe bring out some groups of 8.
Okay.
And they're really just within walking distance, of course. New Mexico Youth Challenge.
Sure, they're right there.
And then Sierra Gutierrez School there.
Yeah.
And
charter school, that's all right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also been working with Roswell Middle School District, and we've been working with church groups. Like you got little buses. Mm-hmm. Don't you get some students in the age of 13 to 18? And that's the reason for that is the simulators are fairly complex. It's not a game. It's not like a video toy.
Sure.
But at the same time, we're showing a bunch of career stuff. And if you get much younger than that, first of all, they kind of don't take the flight simulator very serious.
Right.
But then they don't also get much out of the career stuff because they're so far down the
information's
chain.
A little bit beyond that.
Once
grasp.
You get up to be getting ready to get into high school, you kind of know what you may. I may need to focus on this or that. So.
Yeah, to them it's all fun and pew pew and all that, which is great, but it kind of doesn't defeat the STEM side. So
Yeah. So
But as Robert's saying, like you had church groups. So if you've got youth groups, scout troops, or like I said, church groups, things like that.
Yeah, I'm meeting with the lady. Now, don't have her name. What I put? Anyway, I'm meeting with the Girl Scout leader.
Oh, cool. Okay.
For the region, she's coming in either this coming Thursday or next week.
Okay.
So we're coordinating with them already.
And if you're interested in seeing what the Walker Aviation Museum can do is to help enhance your youth programs, please reach out. This is what they do, and folks, if you'd love to be more involved with this, if you're like, man, I love simulators and stuff, I'd love to get some more time there and do all that. And here's the cool part that the museum's really doing with their simulators and things. They're kind of doing it sort of like a library card system where if you have a real interest in learning this stuff and you're a young man or young woman that was coming out, you come out, you get sit there and get your simulator time. They give you a little card, and it's kind of like your license
It says I'm an EduStation pilot.
Yeah.
So all they have to do is when we're open, they bring that and wave that card, and they can go straight VFR direct, no stopping.
Yeah, so
right straight to the simulators and you play on them or not play on them or operate
practice
them.
and start, if you pursue if you're pursuing a pilot's license. And I get it, you're a young person trying to do that. Most of us don't have access to an airplane or a multi-$1,000 simulator to go do these things.
And by the way, I should say that these are $6,000. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. But they're expensive simulators.
Yeah.
And the reason we have them is because of a grant from XL Energy. So
very cool.
Thank you, XL Energy, for that.
Yeah, they we say this all the time. I don't know how many times we see entities like XL, when we have community events like Christmas lights downtown, there's XL Energy right there helping out. So it's great to see them in another facet promoting and helping in our community there. So yeah, that's flight simulators. Go price one. You could probably find a junky one on eBay for a couple grand, but to get one that's you're paying a lot of money.
Some of these ones now that you can get software, they're actually pretty good. We have one, ours was a yoke, but it'll fly 50 different aircraft. And like you get a pilot coming in and looking at it and says, oh, yeah, this is the basic one. But if you want to, you could select an F-22 Raptor and select Istanbul, Turkey, and land at 9 o'clock at night.
There you go.
They go, oh, okay. And when you do that, you get the cockpit display like an F-22 or with a 777 or 637 or whatever.
I'm being very curious, just from my time in the military, when I was in Italy, and we were...
they don't have stealth fighter ones in there.
No F-117s.
I don't know.
But they would... so I spent a lot of time near the runway there because that's kind of where our tents were. So I watched aircraft coming in and taking off all the time. And so I got to watch the various aircraft come in, and each kind of have their own landing style. You know what I mean? And the most hot doggy of the group, I'm going to say, were the F-15 pilots. Those guys, when they would come in, they would land, but they would not land. They would use their whole plane as a speed brake. So they would basically come landing in, and they would just land on their bottom two wheels, their back two wheels, and they would ride that wheelie for 1,000 feet, I don't know, but for a long time, in essence, using the entire plane to slow it down. And then when it got slow enough, just boom, and then it dropped that front end and then just go on. 15. So I saw a few 16s do it, but mostly that was an F-15 move. And I was just wondering, if you get in an F-15 in there, do you get a chance to kind of ride it and boom like they do?
I guess you could, yeah.
Yeah,
why not?
it was kind of, and I would also throw this out there. F-15 pilots were more hot doggy taking off too, because F-15s are one of the few planes that can almost do a vertical takeoff.
Right.
And they like to prove that they could do that because they would sit there and literally hit the runway, take off, and then once they catch air, boom, go almost straight up. They go hit full burner and just, and they'd have to hit a tanker right after that, but they would do that quite often. And
I didn't, as we've talked about before, I'm not a pilot, but I was training pilots for many years in the Air Force. And luckily, I got to ride in the back seat of F-15s and do some air-to-air combat out of Okinawa.
Okay.
And I know what you mean because I was in the back seat.
Oh, I'm sure.
Trying not to get the motion sickness as they were.
I think
doing
that's a
negative G's, positive G's. and then flying at night.
I think it's a bit of a game for the pilots when they give incentive rides to some of the
especially the guy that's supposed to be their instructor.
Oh yeah, because you were making them spin and puke in training. Oh, that was payback for you.
That's
those
right.
guys.
I said, we'll get you now.
That's pretty good.
By the way, just before we, WAFBmuseum.org is where we're on the website. And Amazon Smile will help us if you're shopping at Amazon. If you go to that, we'll get a few pennies out of your stuff that you're buying. So.
If you're having trouble understanding that, if you go to the Walker Aviation Museum website, which again is Robert said, wafbmuseum.org, you'll find a link there. If you click that, that'll take you right to the Amazon Smile link. Once you do that, bookmark it, and then every time you go through Amazon, click that bookmark, and then every time you spend money at Amazon, a few pennies go right directly to the museum each month. So it's just a little bit, doesn't cost you any extra. You pay the same price for what you bought. Amazon just donates a few pennies off your purchase. And the idea is you give up a couple pennies, you get enough people, and next thing you know, they get a nice chunk of a change, a nice fat check each month. Goes towards programs and things at the museum there. So that's a great way to help out doing minimal effort on your part for something you probably do anyway already.
Yeah, just quickly review. We already mentioned this before, but I had the scenario what the kids come in and we talked about what they did. And then when they sit down, while half of them are flying the flight simulators, it's a 172 and they do a taxi and then they do a takeoff and they get to fly through these green squares and then finally a yellow circle, and then just one where they're just flying and making turns and stuff. But the other group are watching the following videos. They're watching Science, Technology, Math, and Overview, Careers in Aviation, then an Eastern New Mexico Roswell Aviation Maintenance Technician Program. The next one is A Day in the Life of a Wind Turbine Engineer. And then the next one is Kremlin Auto Group and Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Auto Mechanic Program.
Okay.
Then Energy Careers, Energy Career Cluster and Industry Video Series, that's one. Oil Well Workers Career Video, and then what does a registered nurse do? Architectural engineering versus architecture, what's the difference? And right now we're showing, so what do you want? So you want to be a physician assistant. So, but we can change those around. There's several that we can substitute in and out. Steve Griffin, retired Navy guy. He was a weatherman the whole time he was in. He just got through installing a bunch of nice professional weather equipment on the wall.
Okay.
So we're going to get that signage up so it kind of explains more what all this equipment is, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff there. And
now the computers tell them all that stuff. It's like, no, but back in the day you had to have equipment to measure these things, and here it is.
So we have enough time to talk about a little quick history blip, about a 2-minute thing here?
Yeah, we sure do.
Okay, so today, in the past, we've talked about the Atlas missile, KC-135, B-52, B-47, B-36, and the atomic bomb drop at Nagasaki. We talked about that, I think, last month.
Last month.
Yeah. Anyway, for this, let's talk about, historically, Walker Air Force Bases supported the nuclear bomb testing in the Marshall Islands in the Pacific in 1946.
Okay.
Right after the war was over.
All right.
At the end of World War II, there was a push to conduct a test of the survivability of warships from nuclear attack. And as a result, in 1946, Operation Crossroads was set into action, and the location was at the Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands in the Pacific and conducted by a joint Army, Navy, and Task Force 1, headed by Vice Admiral William Blandy. Support of this operation consisted of 150 ships to house workshops, quarters, and experimental stations for 42,000 men and 37 female nurses. I guess they needed, I don't know why they emphasized the female nurse, but anyway, I think at that time, there's not too many females in the military, but there were.
Sure. And then when they were in the role, serving.
A lot of times in nursing.
Medical,
Not today, though. They're flying fighters, F-35s, whatever.
And then on the other side, I imagine nursing, it's kind of, male nurses were something that wasn't really a thing. So
Manhattan Project scientists argued that further testing was unnecessary and environmentally dangerous. Besides ship survivability, the radiation injury to the sailors was a concern. Therefore, hundreds of pigs, goats, and rats were placed on target ships for study by the National Cancer Institute. And this action, as you might imagine, was opposed by animal rights groups.
Yeah, I'm sure they did not find that out.
The Navy was afraid that without a test to show the survivability of warships, that they might lose a lot of funding for future naval forces. Kind of like, oh my gosh, is this atomic bomb mean that the Navy's no longer relevant?
Relevant, sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So members of Congress, press corps, and others were allowed to witness the event. On February 10th, 1946, 167 Bikini Islanders and their belongings were moved 128 miles east to the uninhabited Rongerik Atoll to begin a permanent exile. So we kind of kicked those people out of their own homes. That's not very... Anyway, you look back on that.
Here's the thing,
I'm glad they didn't decide to test it in Roswell, New Mexico, and just moved everybody out of Roswell to somewhere.
Why didn't they just do the test at the abandoned island when there was nobody at to begin with?
I don't know. I'll have to check that out.
I'm not a wizard or nothing. What was the logic there? You know, hey, we got this island full of people, and then this empty one over here. Let's move the island full of people over to the empty island. That doesn't make sense.
No, I think it was an atoll where they could get all the ships in there. Anyway,
maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some logistics I'm missing there.
Three tests were scheduled. The Alpha was an airdrop to explode 530 feet above the surface of the water, delivered by a B-29 from Roswell Army Airfield. The Beta test was a 90-foot underwater test, and the Charlie test was a deep water test. Say for the Alpha test, the 23 kiloton, 23,000, tons of atomic, of a TNT equivalent. Right. 23 kiloton plutonium atomic bomb, similar to the Nagasaki bomb, was dropped by the B-29 named Dave's Dream from the Roswell 509th Bombardment Group. Okay. And the airdrop did not go well. The bomb exploded 2,130 feet from the aim point, and it was, as a result, only 5 target ships out of the 95 sitting in the lagoon were sunk. That's a good thing for the Navy, I guess. But anyway.
They missed with a nuke.
After a lengthy investigation, Colonel Paul Tibbets believed that the miss was caused by a miscalculation by the crew. And the Baker underwater test resulted in cancellation of the Charlie deep water test due to significant sea spray radiation contamination of the target ships. So it was so bad that, the one that was just that 50 feet under, that they decided, we won't do that. Oh, I guess it was 90 feet underwater.
Okay.
It was a Beta test, but then they decided, we're not going to do the deep water test.
So it sounds like it was a series of...
So it was didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
But, when you drop the atomic bomb, you can't drop it at low level. You have to drop it at high altitude.
Sure.
Because
you're going to get caught up in the mushroom cloud.
So that's why with the winds and stuff, it was always hard to get really close. Even Nagasaki and Hiroshima, they didn't really drop exactly where they wanted to. But it was powerful enough that it did the damage.
That was it. You get close is good enough with a nuke usually. But I would imagine in the ocean environment, that changes parameters a little bit too. Right. Water is a little bit different, denser than air. So how does that nuclear radiation travel and stuff like that? Too?
Before we leave, I need to not forget to thank the people that have supported us monetarily in the past, and that was Roswell Toyota, XL Energy, Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development Corporation, Dr. Phil Cathy, Dr. Paula Engstrom, and Lloyd Hughes, Glenn's Furniture, and Aircell. So anyway, those folks have really helped out in the past, and we've had a lot of people like Bob Donnell's wife, Peggy Donnell. She's a pilot, matter of fact. She's flown solo.
Yeah.
But she has come out and helped out with the kids on the flight simulator. So even though she's not a member of the board, she was kind of our, I don't know what we call her. She's our
or your inspiration.
Mascot. She's our mascot. She's our
your muse.
Official mascot to come out and help us out. We really appreciate it.
Very good. Again, if anybody has any questions, wafbmuseum.org. Or if come on out during the flight schedule, walk out there and take a gander around. Usually about 2 hours before flight, you might see it open there and come on in for a visit.
Yeah, Monday through Friday, we should be there right around 11:15, and we kind of close up around 1:30 when the plane's supposed to take off.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate the visit as always, and stay warm, and we'll see you next time. Okay. All right. Take care. We'll see you, Robert. It is 7:53. Time for some local news. Kim Commando, business update, quick break, all that up next.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. We have a traffic alert for you. Hobson Road between South Main Street and Y.O. Road in South Roswell will be closed for the rest of the week for repairs to the railroad crossing. The impacted section of Hobson Road will be closed through Friday unless the railroad company, Burlington Northern Santa Fe, finishes the work sooner. State lawmakers trying to find the funding for 2 major highway infrastructure projects in Eddy County. In all, the state has pegged Eddy County for 8 major road projects, totaling at least $900 million. The state study estimating the cost of rebuilding a portion of State Roads 31 and 128 at $300 million alone. And today, the first day of early voting in Roswell in the mayoral and city council races. Election day is March 1st if you'd like to go to the poll like normal. 3 people are challenging incumbent Mayor Dennis Kintai, who is running for his 3rd term, while 13 people have filed to run for city council seats. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Did anyone win the Spotify Joe Rogan-Neil Young battle? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. The whole thing was silly. Love him or hate him, right-wing Joe Rogan has the hottest podcast on Spotify and was paid $100 million to sign up. Meanwhile, 76-year-old Neil Young, the left-wing country folk rock singer, doesn't like Joe Rogan's views on COVID. And so Young told Spotify that they had to choose. He said, "It's me or him." At first, Spotify kicked Young off the service. After all, Neil Young doesn't create the audience or cash flow that Rogan does. But late Sunday night, Spotify blinked and announced that from here on out, it's creating new rules for how podcasters can discuss COVID. And Spotify will label podcasts that do discuss COVID. So will the $100 million man put up with that? Because let me tell you, a lot of platforms will pay Joe Rogan whatever he wants. Get more Tech Smarts 24/7 at Commando.com. I know we probably have a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners listening right this very second. The Commando community is a hardworking group. So today, I want to share a tip that will help your business run even more efficiently. Are you ready? Ditch the laser printer and get an Epson EcoTank Pro. This durable printer is my top pick for small businesses. No more being stingy with your marketing materials or the beautiful project plans you've cooked up. The EcoTank Pro uses big ink tanks and comes with a ridiculous amount of ink, so you can print in vibrant color without ever buying pricey toner cartridges again. Spend that money on something else to power your business. Maybe a nice espresso machine, employee indoor skydiving, schedule a brainstorm. The Epson EcoTank Pro. Just fill and chill. Pick up your EcoTank Pro at Amazon, Dell, Micro Center, and at Epson.com/EcoTank Kim.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Got a score to report. Monday night basketball. Not a good one if you're a Roswell Coyotes fan. Girls basketball, Roswell falls to Centennial 49-21. Roswell's now 10-11 on the season. They lost to Carlsbad, the Coyotes did, on Friday night by a score of 36-23. Next up will be Clovis Friday night at 7 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Goddard Rockets back in action tonight after losing their district opener to Portales on Friday by a score of 55-48. The Lady Rockets are back in action tonight against Lovington. That'll be on the road. Starts at 5:30. In fact, that's part of a boys-girls doubleheader. Goddard net right now is 10-8 overall, 0-1 to start the district schedule. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Patients worried about getting hit with an unexpected bill after emergency care got a layer of protection this month from a new federal law. The No Surprises Act prevents doctors or hospitals in many situations from billing insured patients higher rates because the care providers are not in their insurer's coverage network. The law won't eliminate billing surprises, but it is expected to ease concerns, especially in emergencies where patients may not have the time to choose an in-network doctor. Italian police said Monday they had broken up a ring of businessmen accused of cheating the government out of 440 million euros in tax credits that were granted as part of government measures to help struggling businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic. Police said 35 people were targeted with arrest warrants. On Wall Street, the Dow up 406 points, the Nasdaq up 469, and the S&P 500 rose 83 points. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The University of New Mexico is committed to ensuring that residents of our state entering college for the first time can afford to pursue a bachelor's degree with the Lobo First Year Promise. Get more information and learn the eligibility requirements online at promise.unm.edu.
Wilbanks Trucking Services is seeking dedicated, responsible, and committed professionals to join their team. CDL and non-CDL positions are available. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers comprehensive training, excellent benefits including housing, and opportunity for advancement. They understand the importance of family and maintaining a work-life balance, making your family their priority. To join the leaders in oilfield services, call 575-746-3618 or visit wilbanks.us for more information on career opportunities. Wilbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com invite you to attend the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Candidate Forum for the 2022 Roswell Municipal Election. The event will take place Tuesday, February 1st, 6 p.m. at the Pueblo Auditorium. If you can't attend in person, be sure and listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM or watch online, KSVPTV.com or KSVP TV on YouTube.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
North Carolina. Thousands living within 1 mile of the facility have been urged to evacuate, and at least one local school is closed. A large amount of ammonium nitrate is stored on site. That's prompting fears of a devastating explosion. The White House beginning its outreach to the Senate about the upcoming Supreme Court vacancy.
President Biden today will meet with the top Democrat and top Republican from the Senate Judiciary Committee.
The president is going to host Chairman Durbin and Ranking Member Grassley at the White House to consult with them and hear their advice about this vacancy.
Press Secretary Jen Psaki. Last week, Justice Stephen Breyer announced his retirement. The president has pledged to name the first black woman to the High Court and plans to announce his nominee later this month. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Governor Ron DeSantis determined to spare Florida the immigration issues plaguing states in the Southwest. DeSantis, responding to video from last week, appears to show a busload of illegal aliens being dumped in Florida.
If you sent to Delaware or Martha's Vineyard or some of these places, that border would be secure the next day. We're going to say to any of these contractors who are involved in ferreting people, whether it's buses, charter planes, what have you, any of those folks who are involved in facilitating this type of illegal migration in the state of Florida, they're going to be barred from doing any business with any state or local government agency in the state of Florida.
That audio from townhall.com. Tampa Bay quarterback Tom Brady announcing his retirement after 22 seasons and 7 Super Bowl wins. Stocks in the red on Wall Street. The Dow down 35 points. The Nasdaq 110 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Attention! This is a special alert for all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an overpriced auto warranty or no warranty coverage at all. Due to the increase of new and used car prices, repair costs, and the price of gas, people are keeping their cars longer than ever, which is why CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on covered auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can save thousands for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. You could save thousands on future auto repairs. Our specialists are standing by for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-708-1855. Vehicle Protection Plan pricing is at an all-time low. Plus, drivers who purchase this coverage today will receive rental car options, free roadside assistance, and free towing. Call 800-708-1855 now for your free quick quote. That's 800-708-1855. What do you have to lose? Call 800-708-1855. Again, 800-708-1855.
Opponents of military rule in Myanmar have marked the one-year anniversary of the military's takeover with a nationwide strike. They're calling it a silent strike.
Photos and videos posted to social media from across Myanmar show empty streets and deserted marketplaces. In some areas, small groups marched to voice their anger, defying a threat by the junta before the anniversary that it would punish those who took part in any kind of protest, silent or otherwise. The risk is real. Monitoring groups say in the last year, more than 1,500 civilians have been killed and almost 9,000 remain in detention, including Myanmar's former elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi. The military chief, Min Aung Hlaing, has promised elections will be held when stability is restored. But the United Nations Human Rights Chief, Michelle Bachelet, has told the BBC that Myanmar has descended into civil war.
That's BBC's Celia Hatton. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Gray Lady shells out big bucks for the latest word game sensation.
These days, it seems there are two types of people in the world, those obsessed with Wordle and those who could care less about it. Count the New York Times in the category that is into the new video game craze. The newspaper has bought Wordle. Purchase price, it says, was in the low seven figures. For those in the couldn't care less category, Wordle lets players guess a 5-letter word in 6 tries with no hints. It started out slowly, but now has millions of players involved, many of whom feel compelled to post their scores online. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
The standoff over Ukraine drags on. Now Russia is accusing the West of whipping up tensions, adding that the U.S. has brought what the Kremlin calls pure Nazis to power in Kiev. This as Russia continues deploying troops along the border with Ukraine. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. All right, in the last 2 days, I've heard multiple references, and now it was on the news. And I only heard part of it on the news. I just caught the back end of it.
Right.
And they were talking about this, and now it just got on my radar literally yesterday. The game Wordle.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. I've only just finding out about it myself.
Okay. I'm just like I had one person on my social media list that I know of that would daily put up the little Wordle thing, and it's the colors.
Yeah, the greens and the yellow.
Yeah, and it means a score or something. Yeah, I guess that means you're good.
It's what letters they got right and what letters they got wrong, I think. I don't play it myself.
Yeah.
But apparently everyone else does. Like, it's a real big deal.
So, but my guess is, like, a lot of people play a lot of games. You know what I mean? They're Farmvilleing or whatever they're doing. Why is this game compelled so many to feel the need to share their scores? Like, do they incentivize it? Like, they give you some kind of awesome prize if you let the world know? What is it?
You know what this is? You remember when Mahjong was a huge, huge deal? Like, or no, I'm sorry, not Mahjong, like Sudoku. It was like a massive, massive deal like a decade ago.
My wife still plays Sudoku.
Right. But like a decade ago, everybody and their mama was playing Sudoku.
Words with Friends was a little popular.
Words kind of, it's sort of a way to like flex on our friends and family, like, look how smart I am.
Yeah, but is it?
Kinda. I mean,
I've never played Wordle. I have no idea.
Nor have I. I imagine it's just look how broad my vocabulary is. Yeah. It's kind of like, if you've ever seen those people who play the I think you've played this. I played this too. The word where you have like the circle of all the letters and you have to like make the 3, the 4, the 5.
Yeah, like a crossword style. Yeah.
It's really just, brain elasticity game exercises. And I think that's really what it is. It's a way that folks can flex on their friends and family.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I play them too. I love, occasionally I get like my text twist or my that one you're talking about with the, that's more of like supposed to be like a Zen thing. But then I play a couple other Angry Birds and what have you. But I've never felt the desire or need to tell the world that I scored well. Quite frankly, it's the opposite. I don't want you to know I like what is this guy doing with his time? I'm more embarrassed than proud to share something like that.
The mark of the generation that you're in.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. The Gen X is really the antisocial generation.
Yeah,
you guys were really the back off me and mine generation. We got a lot more open to sharing stuff when as the generations progressed. Like I don't consider myself a millennial. Yeah. I consider myself right there on the cusp. So I'm a zennial.
Okay.
So I'm like kind of X, but also kind of.
Was that Gen Y?
No. Gen Y, I think comes after millennial, and then Gen Z.
Oh, I thought Gen Y was in between.
Gen Y
Gen
only
X
was like 2
millennial.
or 3 years. It's like that weird. I think my brother falls into Generation Y. It's like 95 to 2000.
Okay.
It's just like that 5 years.
Why is it such a short generation?
I don't know. It's just that's kind of like how they've delegated it or whatever.
Who's the they, by the way?
The National Generational Naming Council.
I mean, is there some committee of people that's like, all right, today we're going to discuss the generational date line here. I mean,
now it's weird how they line things up. I think Gen Y and Gen Z are probably just the same thing.
Yeah,
they just fall into that era after millennial.
Yeah, but Gen X's we're the ones that are the people before us want to go crazy. Off. And the people after us want to go crazy. We're like, y'all are crazy. Just calm down.
Like the rise of grunge kind of sums up Generation X.
Yeah, and we were also the generation that was raised by our television sets. We just by. I mean, I'm not saying to a person, but overall, the babysitter was Growing Pains and. And in some cases, depending on your age, some older shows like Bosom Buddies or 8 is Enough.
But this is sort of like I guess
give me a break.
It's kind of like this generation's almost like if you've ever gone to like a what do they call it, like a pub quiz? Like where they do like the quizzes at the bar. Yeah. It's kind of like that. It's like I'm hanging out with friends just online, but we're comparing scores.
But I enjoy doing that, like in a bar. Like I'm like, okay, because that's a social thing, like you're playing Monopoly or something, and with a bunch of people just in a bigger.
I love
setting.
bar Monopoly, by the way. It's the best setting for
Monopoly. To me,
Monopoly.
that's the same. But to be by yourself on your phone, possibly on the toilet, doing said things,
right,
and then saying, "I want to tell everybody." I scored well on Wordle today. I just don't understand that logic.
In fairness, if you're going to expand your brain elasticity, you might as well expand the elasticity of other parts of you while you're doing it. Sphincter elasticity.
But I get all that because I play the games. I enjoy a good, thinker.
Sure.
But
while you're enjoying a good stinker.
I mean, it's just because that's when I got time.
Sure. It's become the new Uncle John's bathroom reader.
Which
phone in hand.
I still have a collection of. I haven't opened in a while, but I have them lying around.
You haven't opened a book in a while when you open it and it creaks.
Yeah.
I had that happen today. I opened a book.
My reading has suffered.
They can do that
because I constantly read, and now I don't so much because of phones, and or at least I'm still reading, just not the same stuff. Or I'm playing games like not Wordle because I don't know what that is, but
Yeah, here's the thing. I know as soon as I jump in, everyone else jumps off. It's exactly what happens every time. It happened with Fancy Like. It happened with most of TikTok.
Yeah.
And now it's going to happen to Wordle. It's like I'm always like the last one to jump in the car.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I walk in, into a room. I'm like, you guys hear about this Wordle thing? They're like, shut up, old man. Just shut up.
That was so January 2020.
We were playing that in 2021, dork. When was the time you heard the word dork? Like that really is an insult that I think needs to come back.
I would say an 90s movie.
Right? Just that's That's a fun one to break out from road rage.
Yeah.
Like especially if you have kids in the car.
Yeah.
Like, look at this dork right here. It's fun. The kids giggle. It's always a good time.
Dork is a good one. Yeah.
I've needlessly started road raging just to make the kids laugh when they're in the back seat. Just be like, oh, come on. Like, for some reason, Daddy frustrated. They love it.
So you're creating the next generation of road ragers.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal.
Keeping it alive.
Keeping
the dream alive.
Yeah. Well, but that's just it. It's never going to die. It will never, because as long as there's idiots on the road, which there's never going to be a short supply of those, there are going to be people that yell at them.
Yes. Yes, there will. Yeah, no, the meme that I saw was, it's that one, and I've seen it used for a lot of other things.
Yeah.
It's Homer sitting in, I think he's in a lesbian bar, and it's basically like Homer's not in on everything else. Like, it's just him sitting here. The meme is me. Everyone else has their like face covered with, and now it's the Wordle score card.
Yeah.
And I had to look it up. I was like, what even is this?
Yeah.
It's like, what are they posting now?
And I didn't know what it was at first either, because I'm just seeing a thing, and then it's like a series of 4 or 8 colors there, and you're like, is this like a code?
That's the good thing, is most of the people I know aren't doing it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure.
Like I said, I only had one on mine that I saw consistently. But I was like, and then I clicked the comments on it one day. I was like, what is going on? And then I saw people saying good score or whatever. I was like, oh, it's a game thing. And then I didn't think much of it. And then today I hear a thing on the news nationally about it. I'm like, all right, what's going on with this Wordle thing?
Yeah, as I've gathered it, it's just it really is just like this generation's Sudoku. So jump on board.
I didn't like Sudoku either. Neither did I. I'm not a Sudoku guy.
I was not a fan.
Yeah, not
You know what game I love?
I'm not a math dude. I like words. Words are my thing.
You remember Mancala? Is it Mancala?
Oh, it sounds kind of scary.
It was the coolest game ever. And it's the easiest game ever. It was like also one of the oldest games ever. I think it's like literally they found like an ancient game board, and it was a Mancala board. What it is it's a board with all these little divots.
Okay.
And they each have rocks in them.
All right.
What you have to do is you have to pick up the rocks in one, and you have to put one in each thing. The whole goal is to clear your side.
Okay.
To clear your side of all rocks.
All right.
So you're playing against somebody. And it's a back and forth game.
So is it like reverse Connect 4?
Not really. You're moving rocks one, like if you have like, okay, it's really hard to explain without visuals.
Yeah.
I have a divot right here with four stones. I pick those 4 stones up, and then in the next 4 holes, I drop 1 in. I'm slowly moving my stones off of my side to the other side. Once I get to this end, I drop them in here, and it goes to the other side.
But I guess how does one win the game?
You clear the stones from your side.
I understand that, but if you go first and you have the same amount of stones, wouldn't the person that goes first always clear the stones?
Not necessarily.
Is there rules to?
Because you can put you eventually get stones put on the other person's side.
Yeah, see, this is where the visual I'd have to come in, because
go look
to
up
me,
Mancala, man. That was a fun game. I don't know what brought that on, but
here.
that was one of those. I always thought it was like a skill game. It's like poor man's chess, basically.
Checkers.
If you have some rocks and if you have some rocks in honestly a sand pit, you can make yourself a Mancala board.
We could grab some rocks and chuck them.
Yeah, that you could.
Go chuck rocks. I was told to do that a lot when I was a kid.
I'm over here to throw rocks and pound sand.
Yeah,
Everyone keeps telling me to do that.
I was told to pound sand, chuck rocks, chase weeds. I got told a lot of those.
Hit the bricks. Actually, it's funny you mention that. I don't really have a lot of time, but it's funny that you mention that, because they put out a list of phrases that are going extinct, and there's quite a few of them that we are guilty of using on many occasions.
Oh, I'm sure. I
beating
love
a dead horse is one. Cut to the chase. There was a bunch of them.
I say them all, so I'm sure I commit many a foul with these.
I have to look them up.
I don't care.
But yeah,
because I love them.
It's like that's like half my vocabulary.
But I also love using them, and then people give me the deer in headlights look, like I just said something that original.
Pardon my French. That was the big one.
I say that one, but I'm not a fan of it. I say it. I've caught myself saying it, but it's one overall that, because I think we give too much credit to the French. I'm like, so when are the French the connoisseurs of cussing?
Okay, fair. I'm not even sure where the term originated.
Pound for pound, you put American in a cussing contest, they're going to take Frenchie out every time.
So,
that's all I'm saying.
So should we update that to "Excuse my American"?
I'm saying. Okay. Just saying. America.
Right. So, pardon my French is dead. Excuse my American. There it is.
I'll take that Pepsi challenge. You put me a Frenchman, and I'm going to take him out in my cussing contest. All right, Bob Power is scheduled to join us here to talk about a big gospel show happening at the mall this Saturday starting at 1 p.m. He's going to join us here in just a bit. We'll talk about that. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Colder temperatures and maybe even some snow on the way over the next few days. Today looks fair, though, going up to 60, breezy, and a mix of sunshine and clouds. Turning cloudy overnight, we'll drop to about 30, and then rain is likely off and on Wednesday with our high in the upper 40s. Getting cold on Wednesday night, snow and a low near 10. Snow showers Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 42 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 29%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour. Mostly sunny today, a high near 60 with winds out of the northeast 5 to 15 miles per hour. So enjoy today. Not too bad. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 31. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Again, not too bad. A little bit below freezing, but compared to what's coming, this is high. And then there's Wednesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's going to be some chilliness going on here with snow and rain. During the day tomorrow, Wednesday, we are looking at a 50% chance of precipitation in the form of rain and snow before 11, then mostly rain after that. Mostly cloudy, high of 41 tomorrow with northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. If we get any accumulating snow tomorrow, it'll be less than a half an inch. Tomorrow night, that's where the real work is happening as far as getting snow. They're talking an 80% chance of snow, overnight low of 16, which is not the worst of the cold, by the way. North winds at 15 miles per hour. I read, or I was looking at my AccuWeather app this morning, and they say we could expect around maybe 1.7 inches Wednesday night overnight. And then for Thursday, we're looking at a 40% chance of snow, most of that before 11 a.m., mostly cloudy for the day. Our high is only expected to hit 25 on Thursday with north winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Looking at my AccuWeather app, they said we'll probably get another 0.8 of an inch of snow Thursday. So after all said and done, by Thursday afternoon, we're probably looking at a little over 2 inches of snow. Thursday night, partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 8. So remember when I was saying 16 Wednesday night? That's bad, but not as bad as it's going to be. Yeah, overnight low of 8 Thursday night. Friday, we're going to get to freezing. Sunny skies, high of 32 on Friday. Friday night, another chilly one, clear skies with an overnight low of 8. And then looking at your weekend, sunny, highs around 40 on Saturday. Clear skies with an overnight low of 18 Saturday night. Sunny with a high of around 47 Sunday. And then 20 for an overnight low Sunday night. And then we'll be back up near 50 on Monday. So enjoy today. Hunker down for the cold and snow and rain that's coming Wednesday, Thursday. Keep prepared for that cold Friday. And then maybe by the back half of the weekend, we'll start feeling a little bit more normal temperature-wise again. All right, it is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take about a 3:45 minute break here, and then Bob Power is going to join us talking about big gospel show happening out at the mall on Saturday. That's coming up next. Don't go away.
It's a new year, and the progressives in Santa Fe are trying to get their claws into Roswell. Governor Grinch has her best buddy in Roswell running for mayor. In Roswell, we are proud of our families, our industry, our traditions, and our values. We can't let the Santa Fe gang take over our community. In the Roswell municipal election on March 1st, vote to keep Roswell open, to keep Roswell independent, and to keep Roswell free. Let's keep Kintai as our mayor.
This is Dennis Kintai, and I approve of this ad.
Did you know that the New Mexico Department of Health has public health offices throughout the entire state? Every New Mexican is invited to visit the public health offices for free. You can receive support for both adults and children in your household. The Department of Health's public health offices provides free health and nutritional services for your entire family. Each location has its own hours of operation and a unique set of services. Visit nmpublichealth.org to schedule an appointment with the New Mexico Department of Health Public Health Office near you.
Coming to the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center in Artesia, New Mexico, Thursday, February 3rd, the Sons of the Pioneers. Like generations of fans who have enjoyed their unique style of music, you'll be amazed at their musicianship, mesmerized by their unique vocal harmonies, and laugh at their humor. The Smithsonian Institute has named the Sons of the Pioneers as national treasures, and two of their signature songs, Tumblin' Tumbleweeds and Cool Water, are in the Grammy Hall of Fame. They'll take you to the great American West in songs of prairies, canyons, night herds, gunfighters, horses, and wide open spaces. If you like the West and the American cowboy, you're going to love this show. Sons of the Pioneers, live in concert February 3rd at the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center. Tickets are only $35 for adults. Children K through 12 are only $25. For seat and selection and ticket purchasing, log on to artesiaartscouncil.com. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax. Roswell is our home. That's why we've all got to do our part to stop illegal dumping. Throwing your trash, clutter, or yard debris in the alleys, sidewalks, or streets is a crime, and it takes time and money to clean it up. Those caught dumping illegally can face fines of up to $500. You can help by taking your waste to the landfill once a month for free with a paid water bill. Call the City of Roswell Solid Waste Department for more information at 575-624-6746. Help keep Roswell clean. After all, do you want your kids to grow up in a dump?
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925, we have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency.
The University of New Mexico is committed to ensuring that residents of our state entering college for the first time can afford to pursue a bachelor's degree with the Lobo First Year Promise. Get more information and learn the eligibility requirements online at promise.unm.edu.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Procrastinators Club of America newsletter is called Last Month's Newsletter. Their first newsletter should be released any day now. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Bob Power back with us. Morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. Happy New Year, and how's 2022 been for you so far?
Pretty good.
Good. Keeping busy. I know you've been putting together this gospel show, which you're about to talk about, and I imagine that's been keeping you busy here for the last couple of weeks, getting this all set up and getting it ready to go. So
right.
That eats up time. Busy hands makes time fly a little faster, doesn't it? I mean, it's already February. It's like, man, what happened?
I
know. But want to invite folks out to come out to the mall on Saturday. Beginning at 1 p.m., you're going to have a great gospel show for folks out there, right?
Yes, we are.
Good deal. So tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening on Saturday.
Well, we're going to be right in the center of the mall.
Okay.
So if people want to come out, I suggest they park as close to the center as possible and come in.
Right. Kind of park where, like right on where La Salsa is. Around in that area in the mall, that's kind of right in the middle there. If I'm thinking about it,
that's where the big double doors are.
Yeah. The shoe store there, and then La Salsa. If you go in that entrance, that mall entrance, that's pretty much right in the middle of the mall. There.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the double doors and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I know food, Mark. I landmark everything I do with food. They're like, where's that? Oh, it's over by that food place. Okay, that's you tell me a food landmark, I know it. But very cool. So it's going to be right there, smack dab in the middle of the mall there.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So what's planned for the gospel show on Saturday?
We've got fantastic entertainment. Tom Blake is going to open it up.
Okay. Tom, he sets the tone for many events and things. I know through our American Legion, Veterans Days and all that, he's kind of sets the tone for that. Everything and from church events. Tom Blake's kind of our resident or I don't know, what would you call him? Our muse, maybe? I don't know what would be a term. He's just kind of Roswell's official musician, I think. He's just kind of he's there everywhere.
Yeah, he is. But Tom Blake's going to open it up. Then Dwayne and Jill.
Oh, great.
Are going to entertain, and they're kind of the grandma and grandpa of country music and gospel music.
All right.
For Roswell.
Cool. So they put a little twang on their gospel?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Very cool.
And Lee White will follow them.
Great.
And wrapping up the show is a gospel group called Only by Faith.
Oh, okay. And where are they from?
Roswell.
Oh, they're a local group. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's Jerry Berg, Marvin Roberts, and I think Mark Parham.
Okay, cool. So do they perform quite a bit? I don't think I've seen them, but some of the other folks you talk about, I'm familiar with. They're new to me.
Yeah, they do. Jerry had the group Country Charm.
Okay. I'm familiar, yes.
He performed a lot with them.
Okay.
And they've traveled around the country. Their gospel group has traveled around the country.
Okay, so that's probably why I remember. They've been busy on the road while been here.
And here.
Okay.
They've entertained a lot here.
Cool. Well, good. So they're going to kind of headline and lead and be the big the closer for the event.
They've been down for a few years now because of the COVID thing, and
they're anxious to get back to performing and singing and getting what they meant to do on.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Now everything's going to get underway about 1:00 on Saturday.
Correct.
And any cost to anything? Just come on out. It's all free, or is there love offerings? What's the admission to be a part of this?
The admission is just a will to be there.
Basically, the ability to get to the mall at 1:00 on Saturday. If you can do that then you're in.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We're working on something now, and I probably shouldn't say anything.
Okay.
Because nothing's been confirmed yet.
But you're going to say it anyway?
But I'm going to say it anyway.
All right.
We're working on the businesses there.
Okay.
To offer a 10% discount.
Okay.
On Saturday.
Okay. More to come on that one, but working that angle right now.
Right.
Okay. You'll definitely know when you come out on Saturday if you can take advantage of that little perk there. But if not, if that falls through, or if there's certain businesses that are going to do it and certain others that won't, come out for the great level of sound. Because I know, the level of music, Tom Blake, Dwayne Jill, these are all awesome performers.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's gospel or country or whatever they're doing at a particular moment that's in front of them, they're talented musicians and artists, and for a great day to spend, I would just come out there, go grab you whatever favorite food establishment's there in the mall, whether you want to get an ice cream or get a burrito or something, and just kick back and find you a good spot to sit there in the middle, get you a good bench there, and kick back and enjoy the afternoon of music. Sit back and just enjoy the surroundings.
And you mentioned the food establishments. They're fantastic out there.
Yeah, if you want to get some Oys over there, you want to get whatever you're or the salsa or any of those places, they're all great.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm a fan of all of them.
Yeah. You can get the best Mexican or Oriental food.
Yeah, and I think there's is a sweet shop still in there too. And so if you need to get a little something a little sweeter for your tooth, I think they've got the candy shops and everything in there too. A couple of those places. So.
I don't want to confirm that.
Yeah, I
don't
just
know.
I don't remember if they're still there. I know it kind of comes and goes sometimes to keep up in there, but they got plenty of place to eat.
But they've got a nice jewelry store there, Martin's Jewelers.
Sure.
And Penny's is there.
Mm-hmm. Penny's, Hobby Lobby's right there. The of course the Shoe Depot and
it isn't now. Stages is gone now,
Yeah.
and there's a furniture store in there.
Yes.
And I understand they have some beautiful furniture at good prices.
Good deal. I haven't been in there yet, but yeah, that sounds good. Check it out while you're after the concert, or do that before, and then make sure you got your spot at 1:00 there in the center of the mall.
Well, if you want, I would allow you to buy me some new furniture.
There you go. Bring Bob a chair or something. Like you use maybe an armoire or something. We get you. but yeah, come out. It's gonna be a great show. If you love and even if you're kind of gospel's not my most favorite type of music, I would say seeing it done live changes opinion. I'm not a fan of certain genres of music either, but anytime you see it live, it's a different level. It's like bluegrass. I'm in country western. That's not my favorite genre of music, but I go to the Flying J Ranch, or I go see some local band here, and they're picking. I can appreciate the talent and the skill set and just the beautiful music that's out there live, even if that's not what I turn on my radio when I'm driving around in my car to listen to, but to see it live. And I think, especially gospel music, obviously, the connection there, the spiritual side of it definitely is an uplifting, and people, if you're just feeling a little dull, dundrums, a little gray, a little blue, sometimes just coming out, hanging out with people, enjoying some music, and taking in the atmosphere is enough to lift the spirits a little bit and get you to, especially in the world we live in with COVID and everybody telling you're doing it wrong or doing it right or can't do it this way, or you don't know which way you're coming or going sometimes.
Yeah.
Just an afternoon of kicking back, enjoying some music, songs that maybe you grew up with or songs you never heard before, and just kicking back, make it a multi-generational thing. If you're a family and these are songs you grew up to, bring your kids and your younger relatives out and say, this is what I grew up to, or this is what I'm into, or hey, I've always wanted to check this music out. Let's check it out together here. Let's use this as a bonding thing for you and your family, or a mental health thing for you too as well.
Well, I have a friend who is going to be coming Saturday with her granddaughter.
Okay.
And her granddaughter's about 5 years old, so this is for the whole family.
Yeah.
It's
oh yeah, obviously family friendly everything here, but I think encourage youngins to come out and expose them to the gospel music, and because the more things you offer young children, the more things you expose them to, the more worldly, the more just informed that you raise them to be. And even if they don't grow up to be gospel music fans, they can appreciate and understand it because they were out. You know what I mean? You kind of, especially with kids, you almost let as much throw it at the wall to see what sticks, to find out what their interests and joys and passions or what makes them tick. Doing it, and the only way you do that is to expose them to as much as possible sometimes, and I think this is a great opportunity to do that.
My object is to expose them to gospel music and expose them to God.
Yeah.
That's
more of that spiritual side I was talking about there. That's, connecting through gospel music is a great way to kind of celebrate God and to lift your own spirits.
Right. We intend on praising and worshiping God.
Mm-hmm. And having a good time.
Yeah.
All while chewing over a burrito or some egg rolls or something.
And if they come to this gospel show and then go to the next one we do, they're able to see all new entertainers because we have enough now where we can alternate entertainers.
Good. You've got a stable of people and are coming out of their homes and ready to get out in the world again here.
Yeah,
so that's great to hear. So if you're just tuning in, it's going to be happening this Saturday, February 5th. It'll be at the Roswell Mall beginning at 1 p.m. Like you said, Tom Blake will kind of kick things off, and then Dwayne and Jill will take over for a little bit, and then Lee White will take to the stage there and perform, and then Only by Faith Gospel Group will bring us home for the end of it here. And what are you thinking? What, hour, 2 hours? What's kind of the window?
We're planning about a half hour per entertainer.
Okay, so
about 2 hours.
So about 2 hours there. So if you can't make it quite at 1, that's okay. But if you want to catch Tom, be there at 1 because Tom will be done by around 1:30 or so, and then Dwayne and Jill will take over.
And he is gonna have a dynamic opening.
Okay.
A very, very powerful opening.
Okay.
And I don't want to say how, but
don't spoil his surprise. But definitely want to.
It's going to be a beautiful and powerful opening.
Yeah. And, of course, Tom, a minister in his own right here, too. So, even if you love to talk with him spiritual stuff, he'd probably love to have those conversations with you. Wait till after he's done performing, of course. But he'd love to talk to you. You may not pick his brain between songs or nothing, but after he's done.
I don't know how he does it. He's got such a load.
He kind of is just everywhere and anywhere. He
is, yeah.
I don't know if he's got a schedule that he writes out every day, but I hate to see it because it's like it seems like he's, especially on weekends, where he's, next thing you know, you see him at 10 different places that day performing. You're like, weren't you just over here? Now he's over here. But he's a man that gets around, that's for sure. So,
well, I was over by his church yesterday.
Yeah,
and he was going to take me somewhere.
Yeah.
And he told the woman, I'll be out in just a couple minutes. About an hour and a half later, he came out.
I know that one. I've been there, done that. I got that T-shirt.
No, he's overloaded.
Sure, yeah, but he's in demand because he's the guy that he's great at what he does, and he's an overall good man that loves to help people. So that tends to fill up your dance card when you tend to do those things.
Yeah.
So, but I'd love to have folks come out. Even if you're like, oh, I had to go get some clothes this weekend, we'll plan it around this. Come out and do your shopping either before or after there, and join us out at the Roswell Mall beginning at 1 o'clock. Like Bob said at the beginning here, it's going to be in the middle of the mall there. So kind of park, if you're there solely for that event, kind of park in the middle. But, you park wherever what works best for you.
I don't know if he's going to do them or not, but Dwayne Votod of Dwayne and Jill has written a lot of new gospel songs.
Okay.
And everything I've ever heard that he's written is beautiful.
Okay, so you might see some new or hear some new releases here.
I'm hoping he does some of them that he wrote. Yeah.
Good. Well, I imagine if they're going to go for 30 minutes, that gives them a time to kind of dig into their repertoire a little bit and play a few songs for us. So.
Well, Dwayne and Jill have a repertoire they could go for 30 hours.
Yeah, but let's say you could go 2 days and not get to the new stuff yet.
Yeah. They could go for 30 hours easy.
Yeah, I imagine, too. If anybody has any questions or anything, is there like a website or a Facebook page or something or a phone number they can call?
Well, they can call me if they want to. My number is 575-910-4648.
Very good. Just ask for Bob or say, is this Bob? And he'll say yes. Or you don't want to talk to you, he'll say no.
Don't even have to ask for Rob. Just start talking.
Yeah, there you go. Just say, hey, I heard you on the radio. I got that. But if you have any questions, or if maybe you want to, get involved or have questions about, getting involved in some of the, if you're looking for spiritual, obviously we talk about this event. We'd love to have you come on Saturday. But if you're needing counseling, things like that, there's plenty of people that can put you in the right direction here. just talk with Tom. Go over to his church, Westminster Presbyterian. They have they're offering those things. So don't wait till Saturday if you need that kind of help. But if you want to talk a little bit or have any of those kind of questions on get involved in some more opportunities through the church, Bob can help you out there too. So definitely. Did we get it all?
I guess that's it.
Yeah, got it all. We're good to go. So go back and get you another breakfast. I'm ready for breakfast number 2. I don't know about you. Well, thank you, Bob, as always. Appreciate the visit.
Okay,
and
thank you.
We'll see you on Saturday. And everyone, come on out to the mall with a corn dog in hand or not. I don't care. Just come on out and enjoy some great gospel music and a good time. And trust me, once you get out there and see it and you hear the talent of these artists, I think you're going to be like, wow, this is amazing to sit here. And
if anybody is interested in performing in future gospel shows, come on out and let us know.
Got some chops and want to share them?
We like having enough people to alternate.
Absolutely. More the merrier. The more at the party, the better the party sometimes.
Right.
That's the way it works. So, yeah, reach out. Maybe come out Saturday and then, talk to Bob in between acts there and give him a conversation. And who knows, maybe you're performing with Dwayne and Jill or some of these artists at the next gig here. So, very good. Well, as always, Bob, appreciate the visit and stay warm next couple days. It's going to get chilly, and we'll see you here next time and Saturday, obviously. So, hopefully, good news is Saturday will be a high of 40 by then. That's going to feel like summer compared to what we've got coming up. So by the time Saturday hits, it'll be 40, and you're going to feel warmer, and you're like, I'm ready to get out the house. It's been 8 the whole time. It's going to be 40 by Saturday. You're going to be ready to Do
you think 40 will be warm?
Compared to our high of 25 on Wednesday or Thursday, Friday our high is 32. Our overnight lows are 8. By the time Saturday hits and that 40 degrees comes, I think it's going to feel pretty pleasant compared to that stuff.
Not to me. I like the hot weather.
Not yet, but wait till after these next couple of days. I think you're going to be happier about Saturday. Thank you, Bob. We'll talk to you again soon, all right?
Uh-huh.
It is 8:45. Let's go ahead and pause for some local news, weather, your town hall business. Quick break as well. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. We have a traffic alert for you. Hobson Road between South Main Street and Y.O. Road in South Roswell will be closed for the rest of the week for repairs to the railroad crossing. The impacted section of Hobson Road will be closed through Friday unless the railroad company, Burlington Northern Santa Fe, finishes the work sooner. State lawmakers trying to find the funding for 2 major highway infrastructure projects in Eddy County. In all, the state has pegged Eddy County for 8 major road projects, totaling at least $900 million. The state study estimating the cost of rebuilding a portion of State Roads 31 and 128 at $300 million alone. And today, the first day of early voting in Roswell in the mayoral and city council races. Election day is March 1st if you'd like to go to the poll like normal. 3 people are challenging incumbent Mayor Dennis Kintai, who is running for his 3rd term, while 13 people have filed to run for city council seats. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Colder temperatures and maybe even some snow on the way over the next few days. Today looks fair, though, going up 60, breezy, and a mix of sunshine and clouds. Turning cloudy overnight, we'll drop to about 30, and then rain is likely off and on Wednesday with our high in the upper 40s. Getting cold on Wednesday night, snow and a low near 10. Snow showers Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Patients worried about getting hit with an unexpected bill after emergency care got a layer of protection this month from a new federal law. The No Surprises Act prevents doctors or hospitals in many situations from billing insured patients higher rates because the care providers are not in their insurer's coverage network. The law won't eliminate billing surprises, but it is expected to ease concerns, especially in emergencies where patients may not have the time to choose an in-network doctor. Italian police said Monday they had broken up a ring of businessmen accused of cheating the government out of 440 million euros in tax credits that were granted as part of government measures to help struggling businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic. Police said 35 people were targeted with arrest warrants. On Wall Street, the Dow up 406 points, the Nasdaq up 469, and the S&P 500 rose 83 points. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Time for a look at what's coming up this week in Roswell and Goddard High School basketball. Coming up on Monday, the district season rolls on for your Roswell Coyotes as the girls take on Centennial live from the Coyote Den. Coverage begins at 6:30. Then on Friday, your Rockets take on the Bulldogs in a doubleheader beginning at 5:30, and the Lady Coyotes take on the Wildcats of Clovis at 7. Saturday, your Lady Rockets take on Hobbs at 6 p.m. Follow along all season long at KSVPTV.com, Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority.
ENMU Roswell welcomes new and returning students to register online and on campus for the coming spring 2022 semester. Prepare for brighter days ahead and learn essential career skills in arts and sciences, technical and health education right here at home. Classes start January 18th. Call 575-624-7000 or log on to roswell.enmu.edu.
Success starts here. ENMU Roswell.
It's scary how often we hear those police sirens lately.
Oh, this is the new normal under Mayor Dennis Kintai.
I just don't feel safe these days around Roswell, and I'm worried about our kids.
I know. It's very concerning. Murders are up 140%, and robberies are up 142% in the last 4 years under Kintai.
What?
Yeah, and assaults are up 263%.
That's unbelievable. And I heard the other day that Roswell pays their officers a starting salary 10 grand less than Hobbs and Carlsbad. No wonder we're having trouble hiring.
We need to fire Mayor Kintai and elect Tim Jennings as mayor.
Yeah, Jennings has a plan to hire 10 more officers, and he'll make sure Roswell pays competitively to recruit and retain our police force.
I know Jennings is going to build a substation in the high crime area. That'll help.
Tim Jennings, he's got my vote.
Mine too, because I know he'll keep Roswell safe.
Paid for by Tim Jennings for mayor.
Coming to the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center in Artesia, New Mexico, Thursday, February 3rd, the Sons of the Pioneers. Like generations of fans who have enjoyed their unique style of music, you'll be amazed at their musicianship, mesmerized by their unique vocal harmonies, and laugh at their humor. The Smithsonian Institute has named the Sons of the Pioneers as national treasures, and 2 of their signature songs, Tumblin' Tumbleweeds and Cool Water, are in the Grammy Hall of Fame. They'll take you to the great American West in songs of prairies, canyons, night herds, gunfighters, horses, and wide open spaces. If you like the West and the American cowboy, you're going to love this show. Sons of the Pioneers, live in concert February 3rd at the Ocotillo Performing Arts over on the 25. For seat and selection and ticket purchasing, log on to artesiaartscouncil.com. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Wilbanks Trucking Services is seeking dedicated, responsible, and committed professionals to join their team. CDL and non-CDL positions are available. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers comprehensive training, excellent benefits including housing, and opportunity for advancement. They understand the importance of family and maintaining a work-life balance, making your family their priority. To join the leaders in oilfield services, call 575-746-3618 or visit wilbanks.us for more information on career opportunities. Wilbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
If your car breaks down, no need to cry, because there's always a pal nearby at Big O. At Big O Tires. Locally owned will get you in gear. That's because you've known us for years at Big O. Big O Tires. Don't need to sweat any extra labor. You can always trust a good neighbor at Big O. At Big O Tires. The best service is part of our code. Need a cup of sugar? We're down the road at Big O. At Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and get a $70 reward card on select Michelin tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price, not to exceed $35 where permitted. Void where prohibited. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer. See store for details. Some stores in Missouri, Minnesota, and Kansas are company owned.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger. Something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com invite you to attend the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Candidate Forum for the 2022 Roswell Municipal Election. The event will take place Tuesday, February 1st, 6 p.m. at the Pueblo Auditorium. If you can't attend in person, be sure and listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM or watch online, KSVPTV.com or KSVP-TV on YouTube.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 95% of people text things they could never say in person. Check your text messages. We just sent you something. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:54. I just saw something kind of funny on Facebook. I had a few minutes there. I was like, let me see what's going on the Facebook there. So I went and looked, and someone shared it was a Saturday Night Live bit with Keenan. And the bit was the Alexa for old people. It was pretty funny. It basically was the Alexa Silver. And first off, you could call it like anything close to Alexa, Anita, whatever it is, it would work. And then it had features like it would ramble mode, where it was just funny. It's something you'd check out. But yeah, Alexa for old people, Saturday Night Live bit. It's kind of funny. You can all appreciate it, even old people, because some of it you're like, yeah. I actually, to be honest, I ain't gonna lie. Some features I kind of would like, because you could talk to it and stuff. And the real one, you can't. You pretend, but you really can't. This one you could. Kind of dug it. Anyway, hey, don't forget, February 19th, got a great concert coming to Roswell, New Mexico. Ted Vigil, who does a tribute show to John Denver, the legend. And he looks just like John Denver, and better yet, sounds just like John Denver, and he puts on an amazing show. And obviously, with John Denver and the Roswell connection, spending time here with his dad serving at the base here in Roswell, so it's he's an iconic, legendary artist that has roots right here in Roswell. So we got a little special spot for John Denver. But going to be a great show. There's 2 showings. It's one day only, 2 shows only, Saturday, February 19th. There's a 2 p.m. matinee and a 7 p.m. evening show. The show's going to be taking place at the Roswell Community Little Theater there over by the Icon Cinema 10 over there, Dollar General right there. You can't miss it. The old near the old Alco for those people. I'm going to do old people Alexa here. The old Alco, and it was the old Park Twin Theater back in the day, but yeah, right there. Anyway, they're going to be doing the 2 shows now. It's reserved seating for this concert, which is a little different than how they normally do it at the Community Little Theater. Tickets for reserved seating are $30, and then you can order them online at Roswell Theater, TheaTre.com. You can also get, and this is what I recommend you do, is get the VIP tickets for $40. The $10 difference in price is well worth the perks you get. You get preferred seating, which, and I'm going to be honest, whether you get reserved or regular, it seats about 200 people. There's no such thing as a bad seat in that theater. So that's not the big draw for me per se. Yeah, you're going to get good. It's not up front, by the way. It's kind of because, that way the perfect, I guess they do like the Sheldon thing where they sit in the seats and where the sound bounces off the walls the best, and they got the perfect area, and that's where they go put the VIPs. But you get that. But on top of that, you get, a VIP experience. They've got a VIP room that you can visit and get drinks and snacks and things like that through during the intermission, before the performance, things like that. I think throughout the performance too, with finger foods and all that kind of stuff. So you could really make it a big date, fun event for maybe a date night or even a family situation. So I highly recommend pony up the extra $10 and get the VIP tickets. Now, this is a fundraising concert for both the Kiwanis Club of Roswell and the Roswell Community Little Theater. Money generated from this will, for the Kiwanis side, will help cover costs or cover expenses for the all-inclusive park that they are partnering with the city on getting put together. And the Roswell Community Little Theater is using the proceeds to help pay for a new roof there at the theater. So, again, get tickets online, roswelltheater.com. Again, spell theater, Theatre, or you can call Lori Schatz direct at 575-513-8119. Again, that's 575-513-8119. But mark it on your calendars. February 19th, a 2 p.m. matinee showing, and a 7 p.m. evening showing, all at the Roswell Community Little Theater, roswelltheater.com, or 575-513-8119. Get your tickets. And we're going to, you know what, that matter of fact, Ted called me, I think it was Monday, and I haven't had a chance to call him back, so I got to do that. And I'm going to get an interview set up with him. So maybe next week we'll have that on the docket for everybody. But yeah, looking forward to that interview. I just haven't had a chance yet to do all the logistics to get her done there. But I will. I promise. I've got it on the list. All right, Patrick Smith going to talk a little soccer and scouts with us next hour. Town Hall News coming up next. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Russia denies reports that Moscow has sent Washington a written response to a U.S. proposal aimed at de-escalating the Ukraine crisis. President Biden, meanwhile, insisting the U.S. and the allies are ready, come what may.
The president says peace is the focus of efforts by the United States and its allies.
We continue to engage in non-stop diplomacy.
But with more than 100,000 Russian troops amassed near Ukraine's border and some moving into Belarus, he says contingency plans are being made.
We are ready no matter what happens.
The U.S. this week disputed Moscow's accusation that the West is responsible for whipping up tensions in Ukraine. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The nation's largest law enforcement union, the Fraternal Order of Police, is slamming the Biden administration, which it accuses of downplaying a nationwide surge in violent crime. Senator Ted Cruz speculating the president could nominate Vice President Harris for Justice Stephen Breyer's soon-to-be vacant Supreme Court seat.
The Texas Republican said in a podcast Biden may nominate Harris, quote, to get her out of the White House. Harris is Biden's most likely successor in the event the 79-year-old president chooses not to run for re-election. During his The Verdict podcast, Cruz told co-host Michael Knowles that's got Democrats worried because, in his words, her political negatives are so strong. Most observers do not believe Harris is on the list of black women Biden is considering for the high court. Bob Agnew reporting.
A bill to usher in single-payer health care in the deep blue state of California has died in the General Assembly. Democrats unable to muster enough votes among their own to advance the bill this year. He's calling it a career. NFL legend Tom Brady retiring after 22 seasons and 7 Super Bowl victories. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 68 points, the S&P ahead 2, and the NASDAQ down 9 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is Sebastian Gorka, and I want to invite you to join me for a powerful travel opportunity that will likely become the highlight of your year. I'm headed to Israel in November 2022 for a 10-day Stand with Israel tour of the key sites and best places meant to give you an unprecedented view of a world you've likely only read or heard about. Together, we'll uncover key geopolitical insights as we unpack Israel's significance on the world stage. stage. You'll return home empowered by the experience. If you ever dreamt of visiting Israel, this is your opportunity. Come with me in 2022. For more information, call 855-565-5519 or book online at standwithisraeltour.com. 855-565-5519 or standwithisraeltour.com.
A fourth journalist has been killed in Mexico.
This latest murder of a journalist follows the killing of two more, a photographer and a well-known radio personality in the border city of Tijuana over the past 2 weeks. Earlier in the month, a journalist was stabbed to death in the eastern state of Veracruz. The president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, has blamed the murders on what he called the neoliberalism of previous administrations. He also said that few journalists in Mexico were engaged in the noble act of informing the public, outraging journalist rights groups who accuse him of indifference over the threats they face.
The BBC's Will Grant. The Israeli military vows to reprimand a senior officer and remove 2 others from leadership roles over the death of a 78-year-old Palestinian who was dragged from a car, bound and blindfolded after being stopped at a checkpoint. News and analysis at townhall.com. Baseball labor talk set to resume today, some 2 weeks before the start of spring training, as a threat of a lockout looms.
The sport's 9th work stoppage began December 2nd, after the expiration of a 5-year labor contract, and the sides did not meet again on the central economic issues until January 24th. That's when players withdrew their proposal for more liberalized free agency. Today's session will be the first on the central issue since then. The sides don't agree on many economic proposals, leaving very little time to end the lockout and avoid disrupting the February 16th scheduled start of spring training workouts. I'm Norman Hall.
President Biden urging governors to ramp up their construction plans as his administration rolls out a guidebook for accessing the nearly $1 trillion made available by the infrastructure bill. Wall Street, the Dow up 21 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, and I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Good morning, it is. Sorry, I didn't be there for that. Good morning, it is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Chris Inviernos.
I did it as a joke because I just watched the old people Alexa thing. Watching them argue. And then I just did a move on Sean because I felt like it.
I was explaining to Mike, I just watched a TikTok where basically they just took a small scoop of ice cream and wrapped a fruit roll-up around it and then froze it. And it looks like the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Mike's quote to me was, I don't know, seems like too much work. It's 2 steps.
It's a bridge too far.
I got all these fruit roll-ups and all this ice cream, but
can you even get fruit roll-ups? Is that a thing still, fruit roll-ups?
Yeah.
Is it?
Dude,
where do they keep them? I haven't seen fruit roll-ups in years.
Sometimes I feel like you flex so hard that you don't have kids, that you go like, beyond the boundaries. Of course, there's still fruit roll-ups.
I didn't know if they got.
There are still children.
Oh, I didn't know if they moved on to bigger, better things.
They still have gushers too, and it still comes exactly the way you remember it.
Yeah?
You open the package, and it's one piece.
Yeah.
It's all melded together.
One big gusher.
Yep.
and in all fairness, I never swayed towards those types of snacks growing up.
You
anyway.
weren't fruit.
I mean, I've had a fruit roll up. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
I've lived on Earth, but I never craved or sought them out as a snack.
Oh, I so did.
I chose other things.
So you didn't partake in some of the sheer joys of like tattooing your tongue?
No.
Growing up. So that was a cool thing. Is like to keep fruit roll-ups hip and
I rarely ate things like fruit roll-ups or Skittles or Now or Laters or Starbursts or any of those kinds.
That was a fun 90s thing to do. Is we'd all get our fruit roll-ups and we tattoo our tongues and show each other the horrible like sort of image that would show up on our tongues.
I preferred to do that with snow cones and popsicles.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I liked my fruit in a frozen variety. Or lack thereof.
I preferred mine in leather form.
I love my fake fruit in.
Yeah, I was
I was a mark for Jolly Ranchers, weirdly enough. Like there was I would say 4th through 6th grade. There was not even the little Jolly Ranchers. Remember when they had the
sticks?
The big long 6, like they're about 6-inch long.
It looked
sticks.
Like a ruler.
Yeah.
Flat.
Yeah, and it was flat like a tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I loved the watermelon and cherry versions of those, and I ate those on the regular. Basically, when the ice cream man would come through, and that's usually where I got things
Mike
like
liked
that.
himself a good hard candy.
You laugh.
Yes, I do.
I will take. I'm a huge fan of. My brain just went.
We were talking about hard candy.
Yes.
Specifically.
Like the first time I had a Werther's, I don't care if you're old, if you keep those. I don't care. They're tasty.
Dude, I'm a fan of a Werther's original. I am.
I actually got mad when Werther's expanded the Werther's
to the chewy.
Yeah,
dude, the chewy caramels are amazing.
No,
yes,
it's messing with perfection.
Okay, now let me ask you this:
the Werther's original
sure.
and the hard candy you suck on. You nailed it. You don't need to add immaculations of that.
Let me ask you if you've had the Werther's caramel apple flavor.
No.
It is the most amazing morsel I've ever had in my mouth. It's phenomenal. I love that combination, and Werther's nails the exact proportions.
I'm an OG on that, man. I'm a purist.
Yeah,
and
I guess, but
anything outside of that, I think you've lessened the product. That's just me. I mean, I know people disagree. But in my opinion, give me the old OG Werther's original. I'll take it.
Fair enough. And I like a good Werther's too. Every now and again, I like a good Jolly Rancher. It just,
but I just never like if I was going to have an opportunity to get candy from my parents or if at a store, can I get candy? I always went to the most substantive big thing that they had. I'm like, I don't know if it's fat guy mentality. I don't know.
The problem with that is most of the time it's like a big hunk.
But I did. You don't know how many Charleston Chews I got back in the day because they're a foot long.
Yeah, it's a lot of stretched out sugar.
In my kid brain, that meant more to me, and I'm like, I'm getting more bang for my buck. I don't want no tiny Jolly Rancher. Yeah. Give me that foot long jobber. Yeah. That I get to walk around like a peacock and that thing off the rest of the day.
Abba, you my only friend.
Yeah.
No, I was right there with you. I always thought the bigger was better. But then, somewhere along the line, my favorite candy bar became a Score. Yeah. Literally, the smallest candy bar you could get.
Score's tasty.
Score's awesome.
Score is very tasty.
Score's half the reason I don't have my own teeth anymore.
All right, well, let me, before we get into our day here.
Yes.
Let me do this. Let me put you on the spot. If there was only one candy bar left on the planet, and it will cover all genres of candy, and that's the only one you could have, what would it be?
Whatchamacallit.
Okay.
Yep. Chewy, chocolatey, crunchy.
That's
Hershey.
a strong. God, now I got to answer that question
Huge
myself.
Huge fan of whatchamacallit. Always have been. And that was my go-to for back when I was candy bar heavy. It was always whatchamacallit.
You know what?
Strong second place to a regular Hershey bar with almonds.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. I'm a Mr. Good Bar fan.
Really?
I do enjoy Good Bar.
Mr. Goodbar is it seems simple.
Crackle and Nestle are good.
And it's chocolate and peanuts.
But so's the Hershey with almond. It's just chocolate with almonds.
That's
it's
true.
the same thing.
That's true.
Same chocolate, same thing. It's just
I don't know. Peanuts feel like it's the simplicity of it.
I think I like the almond better, but I'm not kicking the Good Bar out to bed either.
No, that's true.
I'll come on in. You forget, I go for guys that go for great tasting goobers.
You do go for guys with great tasting goobers.
But that being said,
you still have an entire container of them in the fridge.
Nope.
Oh, did you
consumed?
Did you go for your great tasting goobers?
I consumed them a couple weeks ago.
By the way, I don't know who brought in like half a box of drumsticks, but I owe you guys some drumsticks.
I think I brought them in like one Saturday when I was stuck here doing the games all day, and I was like, I want something sweet.
I assumed it was Tanner or Roy, and I'm like,
no, it was me.
I'm gonna have to replenish
You're
those.
good. You're good. I kind of forgot about them in there. I bought them for one Saturday and ate one, and they sat there.
It's very rare you go to our fridge and there's like, there's something in here.
It was one of those days where I was doing board op and ball games all day, and I was like,
what are you blaming me for?
No, I thought I ate your drumsticks.
Drumsticks.
Yeah,
there's drumsticks in the freezer.
There were
in the freezer.
Those aren't mine.
I thought they might have been yours or Roy's.
I don't know. I'd have to ask him, but
they were mine.
They were
okay.
I claimed them. Yeah.
Oh.
I bought them on a Saturday when I had to board up like 2 games or something. I was here all day, sitting here on a Saturday, just me staring at the walls and making sure nothing blew up. So I was like, I have a hankering for a drumstick. So while the game was going good, I drove my butt on down to the Walgreens up here and got me a sandwich and got me because I wanted a drumstick. And then that's what they had.
You know, I was tempted to get some drumsticks last night, but I decided to get ice cream sandwiches instead.
It's a standard. Can't go wrong.
Do you go OG, like just vanilla ice cream, or do you get
vanilla.
like Neapolitan or something fancified?
I was
Fat Boy's tempting.
I was less satisfied. I just got a box of Neapolitans. I was less satisfied with it. I kind of wished I had just gone vanilla.
Do they still make the Fat Boy ice cream sandwiches?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy.
You had me at Fat Boy.
I just wanted a smaller portion.
They know their demo.
They're really big.
That's why I like it. You forget? Did you hear my whole Charleston Chew story? That's followed me into adulthood.
Not for nothing. Girls go for guys that go for full tasting Fat Boys.
By the way, on my candy thing, I'm going to go a little off here. The peanut butter Snickers they came in the blue wrapper. I don't think you can get them anymore.
I don't think they had that.
Those were my favorite.
Yeah?
I loved those because it was a little Snickers with a little. It was kind of a marrying of Reese's and Snicker with that chocolate cookie they put in it. Oh man, it was a beautiful symphony of flavors.
You're setting yourself up for failure when you fall in love with a limited edition bar.
I do, but that's what I do.
That was supposed to be limited edition, but they actually kept it. Is the Take 5.
Oh, see, I do dig the Take 5. They got put pretzels in that one, right? Yeah, that one's pretty good.
It is.
But I enjoyed the Snickers better. I do that. Like, to this day, I'm still sad, and this is over 10 years ago. Walmart used to have these things you could buy in the frozen food section. It was a chicken breast they wrapped in bagel dough. You popped it in the microwave for like 2 minutes, and you had a little decent little Hot Pocket like thing. Loved them. Got them for like a year straight. They were my favorite thing. They went the way of the dodo. And for 10 years, I've been crying the blues because I can't get those things back.
Seems like it's something easy enough to replicate.
You'd think, but I love the convenience of a bag of them just sitting in my freezer. And I'd say, I want chicken and a bagel. And there it is.
And I make it so.
So let it be written, so let it be done. There
Walmart, if you're listening, RED, get back on it.
That's right. I don't know. I don't even know Walmart made them. That's just where they had them.
Right.
You know, someone else could have made them. Jimmy Dean.
I'm going to look into it because I'd reckon that's something you could find somewhere else.
Gosh, those things are good. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to have Patrick Smith join us here in just a few minutes talking Roswell Youth Soccer and scouting a little bit. So we'll cover a couple birds here with one stone. And we'll, of course, get you update with weather and news and all that here. But let's get that rolling by getting you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Colder temperatures and maybe even some snow on the way over the next few days. Today looks fair, though, going up 60, breezy, and a mix of sunshine and clouds. Turning cloudy overnight, we'll drop to about 30, and then rain is likely off and on Wednesday with our high in the upper 40s. Getting cold on Wednesday night, snow and a low near 10. Snow showers Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 26%. Winds currently out of the north at 10 miles per hour. Enjoy today. Compared to the rest of the week, going to be pretty nice. Mostly sunny. Highs near 60 today. Winds will be out of the northeast. at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 31. Again, compared to what's coming, not so bad. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Wednesday, it begins. We are looking at a 50% chance of moisture tomorrow, beginning with a slight chance of rain and snow. See that before 11, then changing over to rain after 11. Mostly cloudy for the day. Our high expected to reach 41 degrees tomorrow with northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. If we see any accumulating snow tomorrow, expect less than a half an inch. It's going to be mostly rain from what they're talking. But that will change because Wednesday night, we're looking at an 80% chance of snow with an overnight low of 16, north winds at around 15 miles per hour. What I was seeing on the AccuWeather app this morning before the show, I took a look, and they're at that moment, 2 hours ago, they were calling for about 1.7 inches of snow overnight Wednesday night. So when you wake up Thursday morning, you'll see 1.7 inches of snow on the ground. And then Thursday morning, we're looking at a 40% chance of snow. Most of that before 11 a.m., mostly cloudy for the day. High of only 25 on Thursday, so it's going to be chilly. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Again, on my AccuWeather app, they said we'll probably get another 0.8 of an inch of snow Thursday during the day. So probably by Thursday afternoon, our grand total is around 2 inches, maybe a hair over. That's what they're saying. So we'll see what that shapes out. Either way, it's going to be freezing, and that's actually probably the scarier part with the rain coming tomorrow and then it freezing and putting some snow. It's probably going to make for some slippery roads and things Thursday. So be cautious. We'll be here telling everybody to stay home, I'm sure. Thursday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 8. I said 8. Friday, sunny, high of 32. We'll get to freezing on Thursday or Friday. Another clear skies with an overnight low of 8 Friday night. Saturday, we're going to get to sunny skies with a high of 40. 18 for an overnight low Saturday night, sunny, and a high of 47 on Sunday, and then high near 50 on Monday when you head back to work. So buckle up. It's about to get chilly, but enjoy your 60 today while you got it. All right, it's 9:19. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to have Patrick Smith join us on the other side. We'll talk some Roswell soccer. We'll talk some scouting, all that and more on the other side. Don't go away.
The University of New Mexico is committed to ensuring that residents of our state entering college for the first time can afford to pursue a bachelor's degree with the Lobo First Year Promise. Get more information and learn the eligibility requirements online at promise.unm.edu.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
If your car breaks down, no need to cry, cause there's always a pal nearby at Big O. At Big O Tires. Locally owned, we'll get you in gear. That's because you've known us for years at Big O. Big O Tires. Don't need to sweat any extra labor. You can always trust a good neighbor at Big O. At Big O Tires. The best service is part of our code. Need a cup of sugar? We're down the road at Big O. At Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and get a $70 reward card on select Michelin tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Void where prohibited. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer. See store for details. Some stores in Missouri, Minnesota, and Kansas are company owned.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com invite you to attend the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Candidate Forum for the 2022 Roswell Municipal Election. The event will take place Tuesday, February 1st, 6 p.m. at the Pueblo Auditorium. If you can't attend in person, be sure and listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM or watch online, KSVPTV.com or KSVP-TV on YouTube.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You cannot snore and dream at the same time, unless you're dreaming about snoring. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Patrick Smith back with us. Good morning, Patrick.
Hello, how are you today?
Doing well.
Good.
And another man of many hats. We were just talking about
Yeah.
Before we talk soccer and scouting here, I do want to remind folks, I've done it a couple times, but I'll do it once again since, don't forget tonight, actually, both of us are also involved in this.
Right.
Leadership Roswell Alumni Association is hosting their Municipal Candidate Forum. It's going to be tonight. It officially gets underway at 6 p.m. at the Pueblo Auditorium, which is at the RESD main admin building.
Right.
5:30 is when candidates are allowed to come in, set up tables, and pass out literature, answer questions, talk to you, the people. So if you'd like to get there at 5:30 to talk to some of the candidates, maybe ask a few questions that we won't get a chance to ask, or something you want to know specific that we may or may not cover during the forum, you can talk to them. And then at 6 o'clock, we're going to have the 5 city council races. 4 of them are contested. There's going to be one, Angel Moore, who's a Ward 5 incumbent.
Right.
I believe she will be there tonight to just talk for a couple minutes, but she's the only unopposed race there. So we'll have those 5 races, and then the mayoral race after all that. So we got a lot to cover tonight, and a lot to get you up to date on and informed. It's going to be great. The Rick Kraft, the question committee, all the folks have done an amazing job of doing that setup. I think, were you part of the question group?
Yep.
Very good. So him and a couple others know the questions, and that's it right now. But it's going to be a great event. Now, we'd love to get you to come out there, be a part, that we can see, feel, and experience everything firsthand. But if you're not available, busy, we will be carrying it here on the radio, 106.5, beginning at 6 p.m. I'll be the guy that brings you in and out of that. And then we'll also be carrying it on live streaming video and later on-demand video at KSVPTV.com. You go there, you're going to see our different channels, like the Mornings of Mike Winters, the Good Morning Artesia, Coyote, all those channels. You're going to see one, if it's not up there now, it will be pretty soon, one for the Municipal Candidate Forum. You click on that, it'll take you right to the video, and then after the event, you can go there too. So if you can watch it there, but if you can, come out tonight, sit, watch it, or at least stay through the races that you're going to vote in,
right.
And then you can go home and rewatch or catch any parts you missed or anything at your leisure. But if you are planning to vote in the upcoming municipal election, which, by the way, early voting starts tomorrow, I ask one thing of you and one thing only: vote informed. I don't care who you vote for, but have a good reason for voting for that person. And if you do that, I got no beef with you.
Right.
Very good. All right, now let's get on to the other things.
Yeah.
You want to talk soccer first?
Yeah, let's talk Roswell Youth Soccer.
All
so I'm part of the board. I'm the vice president, and so I told him I've got a connection. I've got an in with the guy on the radio. So he said, yeah, go talk on the radio. So soccer's starting pretty quick.
Okay.
We've had registrations open since the end of last season.
Okay.
But it will end in a few weekends.
Okay.
So February 13th is the last day for youth registration.
So this is the procrastinator's warning. If you wanted to have your youth play some soccer here in the spring, your point of no return is coming up here in February. Let's get her done here the next couple days here.
Right. And if you want to sign up, obviously we've got our links from our Facebook page, and we've got our own website. Let's see, it's Roswell roswellsoccer.org.
Okay.
And you can find us on Facebook as Roswell Youth Soccer Association, RYSA. Facebook would do the work for you.
Okay. Do you know the age groups that they can?
I think we have under 4 through 13 and under.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then we also have some competitive division, and we're looking to bring some new things back here this season.
Okay.
One of those things is we have a lot of support that we've just approved from the board to be invested into our coaches.
Okay.
We really want volunteer coaches.
Well, that's youth sports is a mentor thing. You know, it's there, especially the 4 and 5 year old.
Yep.
They're coming onto the field like, what's a soccer ball? You know what I mean? And so that's and so. You need those coaches that it almost teaching life lessons as much as they're teaching soccer skills.
Right.
You know. So that's great that you guys are turning investing back into that side of it.
Yeah. So our board talked about it, and we always have struggles, I guess, when it comes down to the last days to find coaches. But we're really doing better over the last couple of seasons of getting those coaches to continue. So our retention.
Cool.
But we're investing a bit more this year into training and into kind of gear support at the team level. And so we want to just make sure that our coaches have everything that they need, because there are a lot of coaches that sign up because we ask them to that have never coached before.
Gotcha.
Or have never played before.
Sure.
Right? They're doing it for their kids, which is wonderful.
That's a great thing, but let's beef them up with
we got to support them,
yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
we've got some coaches
they need to do it.
Yeah, we've got some coaches training coming up March 8th, I believe. Yep, March 8th. And that will be some in-person training with some drills, some strategy, the laws of the game.
Gotcha.
And then also how to support the kids.
Okay.
Because it's not just about playing soccer. It's like you said, it's about mentoring and teaching the kids how to deal with a loss or deal with a win appropriately.
Or not making the play making the play and how to handle both of those.
Right.
And be a good sport on and off the field and those kind of things.
Yeah. So we're going to put a lot more energy and investment into our coaches this year, which is very important because they're the other audience into our league. It's not just the kids, the players. But so our next deadlines are, so the season starts March 26th.
Okay.
And so after coaches are recruited and supported and trained, because we've got some online trainings that they have to go through so that we know that they're understanding youth protection policies and they know how to coach, they know how to think about the safety of the kids on the field, that type of thing. And then so we start in late March.
Okay.
But we are also in need of some refs. Now, most of our refs come from the high school aged youth.
Okay.
And so they're kids probably in their first or second kind of job, earning a few bucks.
Sure. So they're learning the workforce skills themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're going to have some ref training as well, and that's to be determined on a date. But pardon me.
And let's be honest, they're probably the age group that has the most energy that can keep with those kids on the soccer field.
Yeah. So many of our refs kind of know because they've played the game, but now they're learning a different perspective of refereeing. So they learn the rules a little bit more about the game management and how to handle parents and coaches.
Absolutely, tempers and things like that.
Yeah, so
sometimes happen. Yeah.
It's important for our players and our coaches and adults to know that some of our refs are still high school kids.
Sure.
Right. This is their first opportunity of leading and showing their responsibility.
So you should treat them, like you treat people you're supposed to, like your mom and dad taught you how to treat people.
Right. But it's a great opportunity for those youth that have come through our program earlier to kind of give back and to learn a little bit more about the game.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about that. We also have scholarships available. We have some donor funded scholarships, more than we've had in previous years, because we want to make sure that every kid gets the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
So we've got scholarships for registrations and for gear.
Okay.
So a lot of families don't know what gear to get, what cleats are appropriate.
Yeah, the shin pads.
The shin guards, right? And so they may not even have a soccer ball at home. And so we've got the support to find that for that family.
And parents, I went into hockey. Soccer's way cheaper than hockey.
It is.
I'm telling you right now. A lot more than shin pads and a soccer ball in hockey.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, it's more expensive sport.
Yeah, you could keep all your stuff in a soccer bag that's much smaller than the shins of the smallest player.
Yeah.
But in hockey, the bag is huge.
Yeah, it's usually big as you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a fun sport. I did play soccer as a youth for a couple of years there myself, growing as a kid. But I'm kind of curious. Like you said, investing and doing this stuff with the coaches, but there's probably a kind of a unique challenge for the coaches this year due to COVID, because we've been shut down for the last couple years. Kids that are like 6, 7, 8 that may have started doing soccer when they were 4 and 5 may not have gotten those opportunities because of COVID. So I'm thinking the learning curve is going to be a little bit more for even some of the older kids because they got less exposure to do learning some of the fundamentals that they would have learned a year or two ago, but COVID kind of prevented that from happening.
Yeah, we along with other organizations, youth and or otherwise, we got hit in the teeth because we had to cancel a couple of seasons.
Sure.
But we played last fall.
Good.
And we had a ton of kids playing last fall.
Good. So that was kind of that season for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we had to follow some rules, obviously, to get out on the field. But the kids played. The coaches appreciated our honesty about what we needed to do to get the kids out there.
Sure.
The parents appreciated that as well. I mean, there's a little bit of struggle, but the kids got out there and played.
But if everyone knows the rules and everyone can know the same ones, it does make it a lot easier for everyone to comply. So,
we had over 700 and I think 50 kids play soccer in the fall. And so we are expecting to get a little bit closer to that. Spring is a little lower in our numbers because other sports pick up.
More competition. Yeah,
but we're expecting probably in the 650, 700 range.
Okay.
But we are very super excited for soccer. And at the end of the season, we're looking at having a tournament.
Okay.
Whereas we've had an all-star game before for our older youth, our older boys and girls clubs. And so we're looking at having a play-in tournament for the rest of the league.
Okay.
And so we're trying to figure out how to structure that, how to get that back rolling, because that gives an opportunity for the kids to play a little bit more competitive, and show off those skills that they've been learning all season.
Absolutely, yeah. When anytime you're learning a game and things, you want to have goals for them to achieve, and things like that. And yes, we want to learn the fundamentals, and that's the important thing. But also the important part of sports is learning to work as a team to achieve a goal together, and so that creates that opportunity for these teams to do that.
Right.
And that's, I love that, because I know at the youth level we don't want to make things competitive to what we see on, say, Sunday afternoon at an NFL football game.
Right.
However, we also want to start the training and start the formality of, hey, and saying, these are some of these skill sets that the desire, the heart, the things that it takes for you to achieve whatever goals you want to do in life. You're learning that now through a game we call soccer.
Right.
And that's, so you want some of that competitiveness at that level, because that's a learning tool. And that, at the end of the day, are they going to remember where they won the soccer championship when they're 7 years old? Probably not.
Probably not, yeah.
But the skill sets they learn and stuff are going to be the next Eagle Scouts, or the first starting off there, and next thing you know, they're going on to do various careers and positions. Maybe it's law enforcement, whatever it is. The skill sets that they're learning at that team level are going to translate to whatever dreams or goals they pursue after soccer and all that. So please understand that. I know it's the world we live in with youth sports and how people think and how we should do it. There's a lot of varying opinions right now, and there's a method to the madness. Trust me, there really is, and that's why youth sports are so great, because not so much that the fact that they get to compete for a championship, but the fact that they're getting out, they're learning how to deal with people that are different than them sometimes, and in a case like youth sports, that's the first opportunity to get to do that stuff. Where there's not. Like even in a classroom, they're really kind of limited on what they can say and do, because there's a curriculum and a format they got to follow, and so they can't just sit and converse, in an open setting as much as they would on a soccer field. So really, that to me that gives them those opportunities that they never would have had anywhere else, and that's really what playing sports and soccer or any youth sports, really, that's what it's all about. So please think about that stuff too when you're signing up for kids for soccer. If they're obviously if kids are really abrasive on this, maybe find something else that interests them. But if it's like, well, it's okay to do the parental nudge a little bit and be like, all right, we'll get you out of your comfort zone a little bit here and get you to playing. And you might, and if they don't like it, they don't like it. But you gotta throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks with kids sometimes.
That's right. Oh yeah, exactly. Because there's a lot of opportunities, but anymore, a lot of families are depending on these, magical little boxes, and it's unfortunate, but we're an opportunity to scouts and soccer and baseball and Girl Scouts, whatever,
absolutely,
to get the kids out off the screen.
Absolutely.
And interacting with people.
Yeah. Well, and if you think about it, all parents. All right, this is going to be old guy talk right now.
Yeah.
But old guy talk is, man, these kids today, all I see them is walk around the phones and everything. And you know what? There is a generation of people that I think cannot have a in-person conversation that doesn't come across a little awkward because they don't have enough experience doing it. And these are people that are in their 20s now and they don't have enough experience. And so that's a problem. And you know how you fix it? Soccer, scouting, Girl Scout, whatever it is.
Get them out. Yep.
Get them out in group settings. Make them go do things that don't involve pushing a button. Make them do things that requires them to look at other people and talk to other people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how many kids I've worked with or, my own sons who, I don't want to play this year. I don't want to play this season. But then we sign him up. We get him to the practice. And he's having a blast.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want to because then they have to get out from the screen. They have to get out from the PlayStation. But as soon as they get there, they're having a blast.
Yeah.
They're having a ton of fun.
And I hate to say this, but the COVID world has cemented that mentality.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've got to really break through that concrete to get that back out there because for the sake of humanity, we can't live behind boxes our whole life. We're just not built that way. That's not how we're built, And so please expose them. If it's not soccer, then something. Get them into something here.
Yeah.
But I'd say, let's start with soccer here. The weather's going to be nice. It's the spring. It's going to be probably, by March, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be, what's the best way to spend a Saturday morning and hanging out in the, beautiful sunshine watching a kid play soccer, man?
That's right.
That's a fun thing. So come out and participate.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, and like you said, if you're wanting to want to get more involved, this is a great opportunity. Like you said, you've already got folks that don't have soccer experience. If you have a desire to help your kids and help these kids mentor in soccer here, like you said, we've got training, we got stuff that will get you the tools there to help you do that part. But we just need more people to say, yes, I want to do that.
Exactly.
And if there's interested in becoming a referee here, like you said, typically those are probably our high school players, our high school kids that are of that age. But anybody that's willing to be a ref that's physically able to do it, love to have you do that as well.
We've got some higher level trained refs that typically do kind of the high school or middle school games.
Sure.
And they do some of the other rec leagues.
Gotcha.
But we do have a lot of our refs being the high school aged kids.
Sure.
But they get the training of the laws of the game and how to coach, how to ref, that type of stuff.
Well, it's farm league like everything else. If you're going to start at the beginning level, which really Roswell Youth Soccer is, that's the first time some of these youth will be exposed to the sport of soccer. That also works on the way down too. Your coaches, like you said, they're brand new to the game too. They're learning as well, and then same with the people officiating it. If they're learning it, and who knows, these kids might be the ones that are coaching your high school games and stuff down the road. And we've all heard, especially over COVID here, the world of officiating across the country at every level of sport is becoming harder and harder to get, and college and them can pay them big bucks. High school and youth leagues and everything else cannot. So the only way you dangle that carrot is to make it something worthwhile. And we as a community got to get back to doing that. And I get competition. I get you want to go through walls for your kids. I understand every one of those mindsets, but that's where being a human is. We got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
That's right.
And that's called being an adult. And that's where we gotta learn how to deal with each other and work, even if we don't necessarily agree on some things.
Right.
It's something as simple as a call in a soccer game.
Yep. So registration ends, like I said, on the 13th, but on our website, roswellsoccer.org, we've got a great tutorial about how to sign up for our registration because over the last couple of seasons we've moved from one program to another.
Okay.
But one of our board members did a fantastic job in getting this video tutorial set up for them, the parents, to sign up.
Okay.
So that there should be kind of no questions. If there are, though, we've got a very engaged board. You can email rysa@roswellsoccer.org.
Okay.
And either the president or myself or someone who can reach out and say, what can we do to help? We'll take care of it.
Very good. This is just to ask this question because I have a scouting background and I'm familiar with these kind of things. But for coaches and things, do you guys require that they have a child participating? Or because I know obviously we want protections for the kids and things, and sometimes for organizations that's a red flag when you have someone wanting to get involved in youth and they don't have
Right.
youth in the thing. But is there any issues there? Any of that?
No,
stuff,
because our coaches go through trainings. They go through
Gotcha,
safe sport
okay.
training about how to understand the game, how to keep the kids safe on the field. They also go through concussion protocol training, so they know what to look out for.
Okay, very
but
good.
then they also go through a background check, right? And so they go through that youth protection guidelines that's similar to the Scouts in that sense. But you do not have to have a child in the program to coach.
Okay. So if you're using this as maybe your own coaching, like, hey, I want to be a high school coach someday.
Right.
Maybe maybe you're a college kid that's want to start coaching. Maybe let's get you some youth soccer kids, and you're starting at ground one with kids that are just learning what soccer is.
Yep.
And,
And we'll go through a little bit of a vetting process for our coaches to make sure that they get all this stuff taken care of and they get their training. So it's not just someone off of the street. We want to protect our coaches and we want to protect our kids, obviously.
You wanted a positive experience for every single person that participates.
Yep.
Very good. So again, give out that website one more time to sign up.
RoswellSoccer.org.
Okay.
And there are tutorials about how to sign up. And there's also our RYSA at RoswellSoccer.org is our email address.
Okay.
And our board members will see that, and they'll reach out to you and let you know what we need to do to help you.
Okay. Do you guys have a RYSA Facebook page or something?
We do.
Too? Okay.
Yep. Just go into Facebook and Roswell Youth Soccer, and it'll bring
Very
it up.
good. And I'm sure if you have any questions about signups, you shoot a message to that, and someone will be happy to find that information or give you that information.
Yes, sir.
Too. Very good. But yeah, let's sign them up. But don't forget, the deadline's coming up here February 13th.
February 13th. Yep.
13th is the last day. Today's the 1st, by the way.
Yes.
We're not in January anymore.
January felt like a long month, but wow, it's over like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And February's a short month, so 28 days and we're done. So, but so you've got basically a little less than 2 weeks to get her done here. So get it signed up. Maybe talk with your family here tonight, and then get it done this week.
Yep.
While we got you here, let's talk a little scouting stuff. That's his other hat he wears quite prominently as well. What's going on in the world of scouting here in the Conquistador Council in Roswell?
So we, we're going through our renewal process right now for our scouts, for our units, individual units, and they're starting to meet back after the semester has started back in the second semester here. So Cub Scouts, Scouts BSA, and our exploring units are meeting back in session.
Okay.
We are ramping up to get ready for our membership planning conference.
Okay.
So that we know how we're going to recruit more families throughout the year. We're also looking at building out our community promotion plans so that you and I can chat a little bit more and we can go into the community with the newspaper or with other activities and events to promote scouting.
Okay.
Some of those activities will include this year, we're looking to do a fun shoot for some of those outdoor enthusiasts.
Cool.
In which this is an indirect opportunity to promote scouting.
Yeah.
And that'll be likely in the third quarter.
Okay.
We're also going to we're working to plan and promote an adult Pinewood Derby.
Oh, nice.
In which we identify and invite adults to get a little car.
I love this.
And the rules may be a little changed so that they can have some fun.
All right.
Because the rules in District Pinewood Derby for the kids, it can't be more than 5 ounces.
5 ounces is if I remember right, if you literally put because they give you a kit that's a block of wood, 4 wheels and 4 nails.
Yep.
And if you nailed the wheels to the thing with the slots there and just stuck it on the track, that's 5 ounces. You cannot have a car weigh more of that. So obviously you're going to be cutting and shaving to make it look cool.
Right.
But then they add weight to get it right back to that 5 ounces again. So and the devil's in the details and the engineering on that.
Yeah. Now, and I've seen some cars that have an external propulsion.
Oh.
Right. And of course that's an adult's car, and he's just kind of showing off for the kids.
Yeah.
But it gets down the track in like a second and a half.
Wow.
And so that's not allowed in Cub Scout Pinewood Derbies, right?
But the adults you're going to let...
it could be. We're still finagling with the details.
Or
but
maybe you have a category. Like you have straight up racing, but then you have like the Shapes Balloons Day or something.
Yeah, so
in our cars
in our district and council Pinewood Derbies where everybody's invited, we would like to have the kids to participate and the adults to participate, right? The siblings and the adults. So we have a category called the Outlaws.
Okay.
Where you're breaking a rule somewhere, somehow, right? It could be longer, it could be short, the weight, whatever. And so
you get one rule to break. But it's only the one.
Could be.
Okay.
So we're
trying to
like that. We're trying to figure that out.
Because that
right
adds
now.
another wrinkle. I kind of like that.
And so we're going to bring this out to the community to have some adults play right? And so we're looking to bring some opportunity to the adults and to families who are not in scouting to know that scouting is still a thing, that we are still in the community. We're still shaping the minds and working with kids in character development. And those are some of our indirect methods that we're trying to do that.
Good deal. I know it's February now, but how's everything looking for summer camp this summer?
So we have a wonderful camp director who is planning a great experience. We're stepping a little bit outside of what we've done before with some of that camping experience. We've got the merit badges, but we're also thinking about having some high adventure activities there. We are very blessed to have another camping property very close to the Sacramento Mountains with our Wahinipe camp.
Okay.
And so we're trying to connect those two.
Okay.
With some high adventure. So it's not just a merit badge factory, because we're not in the business of that. We're in the business of high adventure and youth activities and getting those kids outside of the typical.
Yeah. Well, and that's scouting, and that's always the case,
Right.
Because scouting is what you make of it. It really is. It always, if you, and so you can take it in that direction. And yes, there are some people, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you tend to miss some of the best parts of scouting by doing it this way. You got people that are very goal oriented. They're like, okay, what's the requirements for the rank of star, first class, on the way up, and they want their children to follow that ladder and do it as fast as possible. Part of that is earning merit badges, which are and various other requirements to get their ranks all the way up through Eagle. So one of the big things that typically, especially for younger, your first couple year scouters and Boy Scouts, is to go to what we call like a merit badge camp. And it would be, they come and they go to the camp for a week and they pick 2, 3, 4, depending on their workload and schedule, merit badges they're going to work on for the week. Maybe it's usually things that you can't really do at home per se.
Right.
So like swimming or life saving or canoeing or first aid, things that are better served in a camping environment. They do a lot of that stuff. However, some people get so wrapped up in the fact, all right, are you doing everything to get the requirements done in this merit badge, that they stop and don't smell the roses. They don't say, you know what, we're in the mountains. And we've got the beauty. Look, there's nature right over there. Stop and enjoy this, and stop, worrying about, did you get all the requirements done in your knot tying? It's which you got to find that balance, and that's where, and I think that's what you guys are trying to offer and say, look, smell the roses here. We're in the mountains here in the Sacramento Mountains. This is beautiful. How often do you get to hang out here with very little cell reception and just be a part of the outdoors here and come and go camping or go stick your feet in the creek? That's part of life, and sometimes, and that scouting brings all that if you let it. And that's where you're kind of going with that.
Oh, yeah. So our camp has had for a number of years, and we're going to continue to have the same kind of awesome opportunities in fishing and in horsemanship and in rock climbing, in shotgun shooting, rifle shooting. We've got some awesome shooting ranges.
Good deal.
But then we're also bringing in some merit badges that you would not think about in a mountain camp.
Okay.
Like robotics.
Oh, some little high-tech stuff, STEM related.
We also, in the past, and I think we're working on this year, to have some welding.
Okay.
And so we're working on doing some very untraditional summer camp merit badges.
Outside the box stuff.
Outside the box, yep, because we want the kids to keep coming back after they're done doing first aid and basketry.
A couple years ago, I got a chance to go back. I worked at a place called Goshen Scout Camps in Virginia for several years when I was young scouting, and I worked at one of the camp. It was a multi-camp. It was so big. So I worked at Camp Olmsted, which was their dining hall camp and everything. I worked there for 4 or 5 years. But I went back to visit maybe 4 or 5 years ago just to see the camp and everything, and it looked the same, but it looked different. But one of the things was they added a technology building out there, and I'm like,
we've got them too.
You know what our technology was? There was a payphone that was in the camp director's office, and that was the only technology. Oh, we had lights in those buildings. And that was it. That was technology. And now we're doing computers. We're doing, like you said, high-tech stuff in the woods now. And that's pretty cool, too. So it really is, because I love that, because you almost need that as maybe the gateway to get some of these kids into the outdoors. You know what I mean? Like, well, we're doing robotics and stuff. Okay, cool, high-tech stuff. But then, there are going to be people that gravitate toward that probably generally don't gravitate towards like sitting around campfire. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
Right.
not in their fun activities. Now they get to do some of that, and maybe some of that will rub off on them too. And it's we're doing high tech here stuff, but I still get to go and roast marshmallows on a campfire, or go get to go hike in the woods and go hike to a nature trail to go see something cool. You know, that the things that we think scouting is kind of just part of the package.
Yep.
You know? So I love that. That's all. So please, please reach out. There's local troops all over here.
Oh, yes.
If you have trouble finding one, get on Facebook and just say Boy Scouts Roswell. There'll be plenty of things. You can talk to the Conquistador Council if you're looking for a troop near you. Don't forget, it's not just for boys anymore. Females, we have troops for troops for females.
Yeah, we've got
right
a few
now.
troops around the council for girls. Yep.
Good deal. So it's a different world. Come be a part. It's the new generation of scouting, where the traditions we all know and love with scouting, the things we represent, being prepared, the 12 points of the Scout Law, all the things we instill into the young men. We still doing today with the boys and girls, just in a more modern way, I guess you could say. So please come be a part of it. Come scouting's. I will always speak well of scouting, because I owe my really many experiences I've had and who I am as an adult today to scouting, and I will always speak that, because I went to Australia. Now most scouts don't get chances. Like, I'm not going to lie, I was that's above and beyond, but I would have never got to do that. I mean, I got to meet kids, and I got to meet kids from Japan and talk to scouts in Japan and trade uniforms with them. And I mean, how many times you get to do cool things like that? And I know that may not seem so special now, but this was also in a world before the internet. You know what I mean? There wasn't like you could just, so it was really a unique experience to meet kids from different cultures and thinking, oh my goodness, they have Boy Scouts in Australia just like they do here, and it's almost the same thing, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? And you just, we didn't have the internet. You learned all that stuff, and scouting gave me those opportunities. And going out of my comfort zone, I'm scared of heights, but you know what? I've rappelled, I've rock climbed, I've done lumberjack pole climbing. I would never do these things on my own, and I probably wouldn't today, but I did them, and I overcame that, and scouting got me into a lot. And I mean, obviously, I'm an Eagle Scout, so I earned Eagle, and I got stripe in the military, so there was physical benefits too. But I mean, just who I am, who I think, and how I interact with people, I owe my parents a bunch, but scouting very much a part of it too.
You know, this is kind of a call for not just for scouting for soccer, but for families to realize there's more besides a screen. You know, this digital communication age, there's a lot of opportunities for kids to have a lot of fun and do some activities, but they're missing out on the real life experience, interacting with people, going and doing these trips and seeing the beautiful world that's around them. Because in southeast New Mexico, some people think that down here in Roswell, we're just a desert with some aliens, but we've got some beautiful scenery. And we're not that far from even more scenery.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of unique things. And trust me, as someone who's not native to Roswell and growing up in the East Coast and everything, and then coming here, there's a lot of treasures that we take for granted.
Oh, yes.
It's not just your fault. Everyone does it locally. I grew up in D.C. There's people that never spent time at the Lincoln Memorial or any of those things, or could care less about it, and they've lived 5 miles from it their whole life. It's a universal thing. It's not. But just saying, check out your backyard sometime. Again, if you have any questions about scouting, again, reach out online. What's do you have the number for the headquarters here in town?
Our phone number is 575-622-3461.
Okay.
Or you can always drop me an email, and my email is patrick.smith@scouting.org.
Very good.
You can find us on Facebook. We've got our own website, so we're around. We're doing stuff.
He's got 2 very easy to spell names.
That's
Patrick
right.
and Smith. Bill and Ayla is really easy.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Right? Well, thanks, Patrick. Appreciate it. I'll see you tonight here.
Yeah, we've got the Scouts doing our flag ceremony this evening,
That's right.
so
Come
we'll
out
be
and see
there.
them. Come out when you see them tonight. Get there at 6 o'clock. They're gonna make our ceremony official.
That's right.
So as they do, part of the patriotism of the country and getting involved. There's 12 points. They're covered in there. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
All right, it is 9:56. Quick break before we got to go. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Tesla is recalling nearly 54,000 vehicles because their full self-driving software allows them to roll through stop signs without coming to a complete stop. ExxonMobil returned to a profit in its fourth quarter as demand for oil continues to improve. It earned $8.87 billion in the final 3 months of 2021. A year earlier, it lost about $20 billion. Wall Street's benchmark started the new month pretty much unchanged this morning. The street closed a tumultuous January, racked by concerns about the impact of pending interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. Ultra-low rates and other stimulus measures have helped markets recover from the initial shock of the coronavirus pandemic and then supported stunning gains up until recently. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Coming to the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center in Artesia, New Mexico, Thursday, February 3rd, the Sons of the Pioneers. Like generations of fans who have enjoyed their unique style of music, you'll be amazed at their musicianship, mesmerized by their unique vocal harmonies, and laugh at their humor. The Smithsonian Institute has named the Sons of the Pioneers as national treasures, and two of their signature songs, Tumblin' Tumbleweeds and Cool Water, are in the Grammy Hall of Fame. They'll take you to the great American West in songs of prairies, canyons, night herds, gunfighters, horses, and wide open spaces. If you like the West and the American cowboy, you're going to love this show. Sons of the Pioneers, live in concert February 3rd at the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center. Tickets are only $35 for adults. Children K through 12 are only $25. For seat and selection and ticket purchasing, log on to ArtesiaArtsCouncil.com. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Wilbanks Trucking Services is seeking dedicated, responsible, and committed professionals to join their team. CDL and non-CDL positions are available. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers comprehensive training, excellent benefits including housing, and opportunity for advancement. They understand the importance of family and maintaining a work-life balance, making your family their priority. To join the leaders in oilfield services, call 575-746-3618 or visit wilbanks.us for more information on career opportunities. Wilbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com invite you to attend the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Candidate Forum for the 2022 Roswell Municipal Election. The event will take place Tuesday, February 1st, 6 p.m. at the Pueblo Auditorium. If you can't attend in person, be sure and listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM or watch online, KSVPTV.com or KSVP-TV on YouTube.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Ketchup was used as a medicine back in the 1930s. Mike uses ketchup to make friends. He doesn't have a lot of friends. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. If you missed any part of the show, you can always catch it at your leisure, KSVPTV.com. Also, don't forget that's where you can tune in tonight to watch the candidate forum. If you can't be there in person, KSVPTV.com. I'll have it there for you here on the radio as well. All right, we got to go. You're listening to